everybody. My name is Frankie McDonald. You're listening to SimpCast with Chrissie Mayr. I'm Frankie McDonald.
I don't know if this is real, but thanks for the $10, Sound Horizons. Could you shout out to my friend Nick Gurr? Okay. You got me. He's a huge fan of yours since the Stern days. Nicholas Gurr. Yeah.
Just is so crazy. I want people to look at my face when I'm talking. Just kidding. But if you're gonna insult me, I don't know how stating, oh, your shirt's unbuttoned or your tits are out. No shit. No one would listen if they weren't. Very self-aware. I have no moral superiority over anyone. But if you're gonna insult people, get something better. It's always the same shit. Thought, slut, oh, good one. You really got me there. Yeah, my tits are out. That's why I got him. I got you a moment like, oh, you're dumb. You have boobs, so you don't know what you're talking about. Really? Okay. I'm very aware. Get better insults. I mean, dig deep. Get some childhood trauma. It's just always the same shit. Yeah, my tits are out. Oh. Ooh, wow.
I made record labels so much money off my body. I made a lot of people so much money off my body. And I got the smallest cut off my own fucking body. My body. My body. My body, my body.
This is not a place where you come and around and do this outside my apartment, you. You just want your ass whipped, don't you? You want me to open the door and put my foot in your face, don't you? I'll give you 5 seconds. You better get that video off my screen. 1, 2, 3.
You. Who are you? I'm a Uber Eats delivery. 44117. Go. So, did you see a zebra? No. Okay, just you. To your delivery. Thank you. No, he didn't see a zebra. I just asked him. He said no.
The Star Wars Lego set Death Star. But can he chug a sparkling water and not burp? Oh my gosh. What do I do?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to SimpCast. It is Sunday, March 19th. It's so good to be here. I fucking missed you guys. Oops, I said the F word right away. Good job, Chrissie. Way to go. And thank you to everybody watching us on Rumble right now. Shout out to Rumble. And we are streaming to Compound Media's YouTube. I'm having a little bit of a snafu with my YouTube, but it's being resolved. So thank you to Compound Media for letting us stream on their YouTube. We're also streaming to Twitch, Rockfin, Twitter, Facebook, as long as they'll have me. Good to see you guys. Good to be back. Before I bring in our beautiful and talented panel, I have some dates to promote on my very outdated website, and I will be updating it. Don't you worry. Oh, yeah. How about a little website music? This Thursday, woo, it came up so quickly. This Thursday, I'll be at the Bridgeport Stress Factory headlining at 7:30 with Keanu Thompson. She'll be featuring for me. Then I got 2 shows in New York City this Saturday, March 25th at the Grizzly Pear Midtown, 8 and 10 o'clock shows. The great Geno Bisconte will be hosting, and Keanu Thompson and Andrew Harms will be doing spots as well. So if you're a fan of Compound Media, hope to see you at the March 25th shows, either the 8 or the, if you want to get a little weird, come to the late show. That's how it always goes. Then I'm headlining the Reef at Paradise Island in Staten Island, Friday, April 7th. Tiff's in Morris Plains. Tiff's Ale House, the Dojo of Comedy. It's got many different names on Saturday, April 8th. Then we got Vegas. We got the Friday Night Tights Geeks and Gamers meetup on Wednesday, April 26th at the Millennium Fandom Bar. Then I'll be headlining the very next day, Thursday, April 27th at the Space. Tickets are flying for this show. And I don't say that often, guys. It's for real. And if it sells out, I'm sure maybe we'll do a late show at the venue. Then I'm heading to Dallas the first week of May. I'll be at the Blaze during the week, maybe hanging out with Alex Stein doing his show. I'll be joining the Pimp on the Blimp, and then I'll be headlining at Hyenas in Dallas Friday, May 5th, Saturday, May 6th. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Lila Hart will be featuring, and Alex Stein will be stopping by to do spots as well. Then I got Richmond, Virginia, the Sandman Comedy Club, Wednesday, August 9th. Then we got Anime Matsuri, August 10th through the 13th in Houston, Texas. I'll be headlining that Friday, April 11th at the Secret Group. If you know you're going to be at this convention, get your tickets now. Always good to have plans. Somewhere to go, something to do. And it's early enough where, we can still drink and do things afterwards. Yes, guys. Good times. Good times. Can't wait to see everybody. Can't wait to do more spicy jokes on the road. Because my memes, my tweets are getting a lot of... It's so weird. It's so funny, the things that end up triggering people. The tweets and things that people react to. Like, it's 7 months later and people are still upset about my Sandy Hook tweet. Everyone calm down. Okay. We got some new girls on tonight. We got some old favorites. They're not old. They're just favorites. By old favorites, I mean, of course, Brittany Venti and Melonie Mac and Tuggs. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Wow, Tuggs is here in a Snuggie.
Listen,
casual.
It's borderline still cold here in Vegas for Vegas, and I'm wearing a blanket. So this is where we're at right now. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Melonie. Hello,
Hello. And it's 9
cold
o'clock.
here too.
It's freezing everywhere.
I'm ready for spring. Okay. Normally it's like 70 something degrees now. We're in the 50s. It's raining. I've had enough. I'm over it.
I'm over it.
All right.
And we got our new faces, our fresh faces. I don't know if we've ever had a life coach on the show before, so maybe she can coach all of our lives. But welcome Carmen Studer, and I don't know if she's a life coach, but I'm sure she could coach us in something. Amy, what's her face? Finally, another redhead.
I'll coach you.
I don't have to feel so alone.
The redhead leather jacket combo is always a win. Always. I love it.
I love it. I love it too. Okay. Let's go in order. What is up, Brittany Venti? Still in Twitter jail. Super unfair. Free Brittany Venti.
Yeah, I sent another appeal. I don't think I'm gonna get unbanned, especially after I saw the news today with Nick Monroe, the journalist who was
the one basically covering all of the Andrew Tate news and actually giving new news and not just regurgitated stuff. I got a lot of my information from him. And he got removed from Twitter recently because of Ella Irwin, the same person who's mutuals with Eliza Blue. And you know how Quartering got banned so quickly in regard to Eliza Blue? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Eliza Blue's friend, Ella Irwin, her mutual on Twitter, removed Nick Monroe and commented on it, saying, oh, it was a thorough and fair investigation. It's like, yeah, I doubt that. Considering how you handled my case and commented on it, I seriously doubt that. So more people are
Nick
getting
Monroe
removed.
Is a journalist type.
Yeah, he's an actual journalist who he posts new content and he does research, and he has a long history of getting to things before they hit the mainstream. Like he's usually the first on something. Like he was the first with Andrew Tate. That's where I got my information from. And he also was the first with Twitter files, but nobody knows that. Like he actually went in depth and went through each person before the Twitter files happened. He called it out before it happened. And now we're basically in Twitter files 2.0 because the Twitter staff are compromised. They're very biased. And it's like, okay, they cover for Eliza Blue and now seemingly they're covering for Andrew Tate because Crab Crawler, that's primarily what he covers. He's been big on the Andrew Tate news. So it's very odd that they would remove him.
Oh, wait,
and
Nick
then
Monroe is
I
Crab
didn't even know
Crawler?
they got rid of
Yeah.
him.
Oh, okay. Now it's all coming
His
together.
account was Crab Crawler 1. And so then he showed screenshots because he wrote an article about it. He showed screenshots of the trolls saying, haha, I got you banned. I mass reported you. And then you have Ella Irwin in the next screenshot being like, we thoroughly looked into this. It's like, no, you didn't. You just wanted to remove him from the site for some biased reason. So she's now commented on my case being locked. She's now commented on his case being locked. She's like, yeah, it's fine. Actually, they did violate the rules because I said so.
Wow.
It just seems like it's so not a like it seems like your case, Venti, is just so not a priority. And I hate that because I hate that the Eliza stuff was so hot for a good 6 weeks and then things stopped happening and we all kind of petered out because there was no news to report. There was like you didn't get your account back, and then other than Eliza bailing from the Minds event, like she's had no news and she's had no other public speaking engagements that I know of. So we're just kind of at a standstill. It sucks.
And now more people are getting banned. So like I said, it wasn't going to be the last one. And that loophole's still there. You can still get your account removed if someone false privacy claims you, literally falsely accusing you of exploiting them.
Wow.
So that's this current state of Twitter. And I have yet to see Elon Musk comment on this. This is not good at all. This is basically Twitter Files 2.0. It's the same shit, same biases, people getting banned, and nothing's being done about it.
But on the plus side, your hair looks fantastic.
It does.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on things we have control of, like our hair.
Barely. With curly hair, barely.
I almost wore her puffy shoulders. I have one outfit like that, and I was like, I might wear my Eliza Blue puffy shoulders, but I was too tired.
What do you mean, like padded, like shoulder
Remember
pads?
how she had that red thing that was so dramatic?
Yes,
I
her
have one
Hunger
shirt
Games
like that.
capital, garb.
Yeah.
I can't wear stuff like that. I'm 5'10". I look like I'm in Mad Max or something. It's
Yeah, you're
not
gonna look
good.
like a college swimmer if you wear something like that. Thank you, Raider, for the super chat. My God, very crazy
Hey.
generous. Thank you so much. Tit pics are headed your way. The girls know the rules, right?
What happened with your YouTube? Like, why are we on compound time? I found out literally 10 minutes before because someone in my chat mentioned it.
Yeah. I just had a little snafu. We're working it out. Just some shit. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Just boring. Nothing that I can make funny right now. Melonie Mack is here. Yes. Great shirt.
Thank you. I got the filing cabinet t-shirt too.
No way.
I
You might be
did.
the first person. Frank's jaw just dropped. You might be the first person to buy that shirt. I've been praying that someone would get it.
I made it happen. I almost wore it, but I was like, oh, I really want to wear this one though.
Wow. I'm gonna get one too and just like
All
turn
right.
it into a V-neck, like a slutty top.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Melonie. What's new in your
Thank
world? Your
you.
hair also looks great. Now I
Aw,
have to say this to everyone.
you. Thank you so much. Just kind of the usual lately. Yeah, lots of family time. Doing my Go Boom videos, so on and so forth. Bunch of other stuff that I just can't really talk about.
Yeah. That's the thing.
But hey, everything's gonna be great though.
Yeah, I think we just need to start moving into like April and warmer weather. Like I'm over this cold weather thing. This is supposed to be our second winter of death in a row, and I'm ready for it to be over. But everyone looks great. That's the important part. Tuggs is here in a gigantic Snuggie. I need to know. This usually looks like something you'd wear in a deep depression. So do we need to be concerned?
Because we're still, for some reason, in the middle of winter. I'm gonna kill that groundhog. I swear.
Do you have Cheeto dust on you?
I know I don't actually, but yeah, this is an Oodie. It's a fleece blanket that's a hoodie, and I'm obsessed with it.
An Oodie, a one
Oodie.
hoodie.
Yeah, it's like a fluffier version of a Snuggie. It doesn't go that far down. Like I think it stops like up just. Well, I'm short, so it stops like a little past my knees, like where the Snuggie like hits the floor. But it's fluffy, and it's got a big pocket in the front that I put snacks in.
Ooh, that looks so comfortable. I'm afraid I could never get something like that for myself because I think it would trigger something deep inside my brain, and I just would like start giving up. Like I just would be like. Once I put that on, I think something would happen, and I'd go back to my college brain of just like downing sleeves of Thin Mints.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my God, I love those.
Me too. I haven't gotten a box yet. I haven't found anybody. I don't know where all the people who at my job used to come and annoy us every 5 minutes with their Girl Scout cookie flyers for their kids went, but I wish they would come back because I could use.
It's like I want to buy Girl Scout cookies, and then it's like, but once I have them, it's like, what are you gonna have one and then put the box away?
No, you're gonna eat the whole thing and then regret everything later. Yeah,
it's an all or nothing situation. It's like if you get them, you're gonna eat them all, or just get nothing.
Yeah,
yes. I love them frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
they're so good frozen.
I think Samoas and tagalongs are the best. Everything else can burn in a fire, in my opinion.
Samoas are pretty good. I don't remember if I like tagalongs or not.
Those are the peanut butter ones.
Oh yeah, they're okay. Thin Mints.
They've got like the soft peanut butter in the middle. It's like
they're classic.
Amie, what's her face is here. Finally, another redhead. Good to see you, girl. And
good to see you.
Thank you for popping your SimpCast cherry with us tonight. For people who don't know you, haven't heard of you, who are you? Let's hear the Amie what's her face elevator pitch. Wow, I couldn't have put that any worse.
Well, as I said in my description here, it asked me to describe myself, and I figured social media shit poster is pretty good. I love to cook. I'm a mom. I've recently started making cooking videos, and I don't know, give opinions and just be like the opposite of what you would expect, I guess.
Just spicy takes. That's what we love.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
Me.
Good to have you. And Carmen Studer is here. Hair also looking great. Wow. Yeah. Everyone really brought it in the hair department today.
I should have put mine up to make it. We could be twins.
Yeah, this was a last minute decision because I'm like, I need a little pick me up.
It looks cute. So are there SimpCast rules? Do we need to know
I mean, other than the normal YouTube rules, the things you're not supposed to talk about, like the obvious true things that we all know about, we can't talk about those things.
Got it.
But other than that, other than like those small baby topics, we can refer to them in code. You can curse if you wish. So yeah, everybody's good. Everything's fine. My gosh. So I don't know if I talked about this much last week, but on last week's Friday Night Tights, we had Gavin McGinnis on, and he did 3 hours, and then his big finish at the end was he pulled his dick out and he started peeing and I was like convinced that it was a Whizzinator. I was like, there's no way it's real penis. But I asked him, and apparently that's That's the word that's out, is that he really pulled out his actual. That was his big well, not so big finish. And I was just like, why would you pee on your own desk?
Because he's Gavin McInnes.
You're getting a lot of shit.
Wow.
I wouldn't have expected him to do that on Friday Night Tights though, because
I
it's a comic book
know.
thing with a lot of kids.
Oh.
I don't know if the kids watch that show, but I guess they could. I guess
Potentially
I
because of
mean,
the topic
there
manner,
have
because
been people-
superheroes.
Yeah, there have been people that talk about how they watch it with no, I don't know about little, but they watch it with, I mean, minors,
Yeah,
like
12,
they're
15,
young
yeah,
kids,
young teen. Yeah, I would say that's
preteen,
plausible.
teen. That was my first thought. I was like, kids watch this, like families watch. What is wrong? And it's not
my
his
gosh.
show either. I was like, bro, no.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell them ahead of time, right?
No, nobody knew.
And
Yeah,
that's
like, Chris, I'm gonna whip my dick out.
What the heck
And
is a Wizinator?
some people think that he did know we were on YouTube. Some people think that he didn't know. I think that he personally has been so canceled and like semi off the grid for so long, like he actually forgot or has completely disregarded like what to do. Like he can still fully be himself without doing the specific things that puts your channel in danger. And they just have so many haters and so many people that would love to strike them or report them. And like, luckily Gary's channel is totally fine. Thank God. Like that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
And Gavin did make a lot of good points. I thought it was very good conversation. He was there the whole 3 hours. You know, it was good back and forth because Gavin does not agree with. In fact, he was shitting on them and like nerd culture and it's for kids. And it's good to, you know, practice sparring with somebody who doesn't agree with you on everything because it's like a good practice for you to be like, yeah, why do I believe what I believe? Why are these my opinions? Why is nerd culture important? Why is it not just for kids? And I think it's good. You get very cozy and mushy if you're always just talking to people who agree with you on 80% of the things all the time.
You ever have that happen where someone mentions like someone that hasn't come up in a while and they're like, who's this person? And then you have to like go all the way back and like dig things up. You're like, oh my God, like it's so exhausting, especially if you're on the internet a long time. I've been on the internet in terms of a job for like 9 years. So I have to remember 9 years of information to pull up for people whenever they ask me, who's this?
wow.
Who's that? Why does this person hate you? And I'm like, oh my God. I have to dig through and like reformulate everything in my opinions.
Yeah. I know, it's almost like you need like flashcards. Like, all right, can we go back to 2007 YouTube or internet? But you know who has been around a long time, who has a vast wealth of knowledge of history of the internet and just the world in general, is Geno Bisconte. Wow, look at Geno.
Is
all right,
is my
Geno,
sound on? Is it?
Yep. Because Geno
Does it sound
has wonderful
okay this
equipment,
time, guys? Hi, how
but
are you?
sometimes doesn't have it hooked up. So Geno, just make
Wait,
sure you
no,
go
it's
into
on.
the settings and that your microphone is clicked on the right setting.
It says it's on. You can't hear me?
Okay. Just checking. There we go. That
So no?
works. I hear an echo.
We can hear you.
No?
There is an echo
Okay.
though, yeah.
There's a little bit of echo. So make
Or
sure,
I
Geno,
think
that
it's
you don't
background
have
noise, I
this
think.
show playing on another window.
Oh, that's what we're
Yeah.
hearing.
I can hear my stupid voice in the background.
No, you gotta believe me.
Oh my God.
You gotta. No? How's it?
And Geno, I'm gonna oh God, and he's frozen.
Jetty.
Your blinker's on. No, I'm
We're
just kidding.
hearing
All right,
ourselves.
Geno, I'm gonna
Wait,
mute you for a
is
second while
there?
you click off whatever windows you need to click off.
I can hear it fine.
We hear an echo.
Yeah, we're hearing ourselves. So you have like the stream playing in
You
the
have
background at the same
No.
time.
Yeah.
Let's add Geno. It'll be fun.
Why?
I said.
Yeah, that's on me. That's nothing.
Is that better?
No.
No,
No,
we're definitely
hear me
on like
now.
a 5
It's in
It's like an
another window
audio
or
acid trip or
something.
something.
Geno, I'm gonna mute you so you can click out your other windows. Okay. Geno's muted. He's gonna
Poor
figure it
Geno.
out. Geno's
I
gonna
wonder
figure it out.
if it's feeding back through his own speakers.
Oh, okay. So maybe Geno needs to make sure that his correct speakers are set up.
Yeah. If he doesn't have a window open, I wonder if it's somebody in the
That's
chat
true.
said that.
Okay. No, last
This
time
is
Frank had to
this
help
is
me.
turning into tech support, which is fine.
We need somebody with an accent now to help guys.
How many women does it take to fix a computer?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Kevin.
We're
I will be
changing
your
things
tech
up. We're
support.
telling the man how to fix his technical difficulties.
There you go.
Strong
There you
independent
go.
women.
Dang, this is like groundbreaking here. Okay, let's go back to Geno. Geno, can we hear an echo?
You don't need to talk. You just got to sit there and look pretty. It's fine.
Just look,
Yeah,
exactly.
just
Just
get
look
your
pretty.
tits out.
Smile.
Yeah.
Pretty,
Do a little
just
bit
be
of
pretty. That's
this.
all you got to do.
Uh-oh, we still hear it.
What's that, Mel?
It's fine. Just sit there
I
and look
don't
pretty. We're good.
understand. Everything is. This is what I've always done. We've done this.
Pull your,
Are
do
your
this
headphones
little-
plugged in?
No.
Yeah, are your headphones plugged in?
Geno, what is your new YouTube? Geno's starting a new show on YouTube, which I'm very excited about. Let's oh, Ghost Crusaders has some tech support. Hey Grandpa, lower the volume on your headphones. These are
Try
great
turning it on and off
suggestions.
again.
Geno is starting a new YouTube show, and Geno's someone he's very funny. He's pro free speech, pro speaking the truth. You know what that means? Wink, wink. All those topics I mentioned that we can't talk about. And Geno loves sports. I think also gambling. So we're trying to figure
Chargers
out what.
fan. Okay.
Yes,
Gambling.
big Chargers fan. We're trying to figure out what Geno should do his new YouTube show about, and he's very good at ranting. It's kind of a
All it.
specialty.
You should do a channel about all of it.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. I still had him muted. Oh,
Geno,
he
one
muted
of my
himself.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
Geno, you
one
muted
of my
yourself.
friends is the manager or the general manager. Or what is he? I think I forget for the Chargers.
Oh
I have to
wow.
connect you.
Geno, we have a Chargers connection over here.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't think he can hear me though.
No.
I've got him tickets. I've got him, everything he needs. I'm kidding.
You
like
can
I'm at
go.
the
You can
zoo.
get. You have access to Chargers tickets. Whoa.
I bet he wears socks and sandals too. I'm with the whole audio issue. I'm getting socks
Oh, is that
and
what you're
sandals.
guessing for Geno?
Yeah.
Right now, show us your feet, Geno.
It's probably Crocs.
We're watching him in the
I've
wild.
never seen him do socks and sandals, but he is Italian, so maybe that is in his future.
This is very.
Yeah.
I'm
High
entertained.
pants. High pants up
Oh,
here.
no.
I support
So like
socks
the
and
high
sandals.
waist.
No, Geno, you look like you've given up. Don't.
He should just go on his
don't
phone.
give up, Geno.
No, we're here for you.
Oh no! Are you? He's
You
gonna
guys
come back.
butt broke him.
Geno
Were we too
Bisconte,
much?
everybody. Oh no! Hi, Bisconte, just calling on your landline. Oh, come on. He's got hundreds of dollars of new equipment at his fingertips.
Did it not
He
come with
should not.
instructions?
I'm gonna be so pissed if he calls in on his dumb iPhone right now.
You watch him. Watch. Why would? Shoot.
It's okay.
And
This is-
Christy, I just noticed your sign in the back. I
Thank
love
you. Oh
it.
my god.
Yeah, when did you
This-
get it?
I'm obsessed with this. I actually this is from Nvidia. Shout out to Nvidia, the greatest mod on the planet. Got this for me actually in February, and it was kind of sitting under my desk, and I was like intimidated by the whole drilling holes in the wall process, because for a while I had it hanging by dental floss, but the men in my life told me that was unwise. So I took it off the dental floss. I was hanging it on the same hooks that I hung my Christmas lights with dental floss, and then a man has screwed in these screws, and then I just hoisted it. But it looks so good.
So good. I love it.
Looks really
I wish
good.
it could change the color of it, but it's perfect the way it's really perfect the way it is. It's the theme color. It's good. It looks fun.
I
It's
approve.
a nice, like comfortable font, easy on the eyes.
I like
Yes.
all your stuffed Friday Night Tights people back there.
Yes, dude. I was
I
waiting
got mine too.
a good months for these to come in. I finally got my Gary Wizard and my
Gary's
hot
so
dog
cute.
ass.
Cute.
And you know what's
Do you
nice about
sleep with
this
them?
one? Wow, look at all of us.
Oh, that's drinker. I'm like, who is that? Oh, the drinker one. Oh, I have Canadian Bear.
I
All
want
guys
the
have Canadian
drinker
Bear.
My friends.
Aw.
My friend.
Melonie, the middle one looks like a wrestler. Who's that supposed to be? It looks like
Oh,
Randy.
this is critical drinker.
Oh, okay.
That's really
Critical
cute.
Got
Drinker,
it.
if you like Scottish accents, check out
I
Critical
do.
Drinker. It
I
does.
do.
It
What
doesn't
about
matter what
this?
he's talking about. You just turn it on and like listen to his background noise. Is the best.
And then if you have the Canadian
Yes,
bear,
I have that
you have
too.
the buck crack, which I
Oh,
don't.
that's awesome.
Those are so cute.
But you can
When
also
I see,
flip
when
it
I
up and
see
see
Jay
his
in
eyes.
Vegas in April, I'm gonna have him sign the tushy. Jay's gonna sign the
I love it.
I love it.
So Tuggs, you're gonna be in Vegas?
Yeah, I live here. So you guys are coming to me for once. I'm very excited about it. And I got tickets for your show. So me,
Oh
my
my
boyfriend,
God, yes.
X-Ray Girl, and Mark the Cyborg are all sitting at the same table. So
I love
hi.
it. Do you think
That
you're
sounds
pro or against you know, like gentle roasting, crowd interaction? Where's your comfort level? From 0 to 10.
I don't know.
10 being
I've never been roasted before, so I don't know. I'll be
Okay.
a virgin, a comedian show virgin.
Okay. I'll go easy on you guys. I'm so excited to
Thanks.
see everybody. Vegas is fun. Yeah,
I'm
people were like,
excited.
"Oh, you should." My sister lives out in Vegas too, but she's not like really into what I'm doing. It's probably
We'll
better
be
that
there.
way.
We'll be there. We'll be there to support you and roast you. I'm sure Mark, the more Mark has a couple of drinks, the more he'll yell out things to you. So be prepared for that.
Oh
It's gonna
yeah.
be fun. I'm excited.
I'm so excited. And is it going to be warm, you think, in Vegas?
God, I hope
next
so.
month?
Yeah, it should be really warm by then. We're talking 80s, maybe 90s.
80s? Wow, that's hot. That's into
Yeah,
hot
it's gonna be
territory.
very warm.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and I won't have to wear this thing anymore.
Oh my god. No, please don't. Unless you just do it like with like
Security
a boob
blanket.
window.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna keep the air conditioner up just so you can wear it.
That's what I would do, Melanie. That's what I would do. I do
You
that
guys-
all summer, actually.
You know, I hope you come back. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't scare him off.
Poor Geno.
He was all masked. Everything was blue. I'm disappointed. I wanted to hear him
I feel
talk.
bad. I was roasting him pretty hard, and I never met him before.
I didn't think you were too bad.
Okay.
Okay, I see
That's good.
his little window trying to come back. All right, well, all right. Should we just have it on his? There we go.
Hey!
Geno.
Hello? Is that?
Welcome back. Oh, that sounds good. What did you do?
Ask me, you want to know what I did? I have no fucking idea. I turned everything off and turned it back on. I don't fucking know.
I think the echo's
Is it
gone.
plugged in? Is
When
it
in
plugged
doubt.
in? Yeah.
When in doubt.
Shut up, Keanu. You were sitting on
Aw.
that till I got back in here. Hi.
Keanu's going to be featuring for me on Thursday in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. She's such a funny gal, and she's a great hang too. They're really just as important.
I have an interesting TikTok for you, Chrissy. It's
Yes.
a therapist that stopped taking male clients, and apparently a lot of guys are mad about it. I wanted to know what you guys thought of it.
Ooh.
Did she
You
say
have
why?
that link here. Perfect.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
I always this is what I prefer when other people go through TikTok for me.
She doesn't want to
Yes.
get him too. To look out, ladies. Be safe.
Here we go. This person is
Hey,
not.
I know I'm the new guy, but can we shout out the guy that said, I'm happy he found 5 more discs for 5 more AOL hours? That was a pretty good. Fuck you with the Netscape. The other one was better.
Oh man.
I had to log out of my MindSpring account and fuck every. All right, I'm fine. I'll shut up. Back to you, ladies.
The AOL discs. I totally forgot about them. Okay, I am no longer.
I had 4
working with
discs. I'm like,
Meltdown.
where the fuck is the 5th AOL disc? Now I'm shutting up.
Now, Venti, do we need any setup for this clip, or should I just let it rip?
You should just play it.
Okay.
I am no longer seeing male clients because they'll come in my inbox demanding me to prove my worth to them. All up in my email saying, what can you do for me? Nothing. There's absolutely nothing that I can do for you. Go find somebody else. Go play with somebody else. I'm not the one or the two, baby. We ain't gonna do this.
What?
Not setting up no consultation or nothing to see if we're a good fit. Trying to see what type of treatment modalities I use, if we mesh well together. Just be in my inbox requiring this free emotional labor. Absolutely not. Because now I'm sitting up here making a TikTok about how y'all keep harming me.
Oh, God.
Because you're not helping me.
Huh.
I don't need to be working with you because you activated my nervous system. See, I already know that. And I know we're not going to do well together because we start working together. I'm going to still be thinking about that email you sent me when you tried me. And I'm going to want my lick back because I know who I am. And that ain't good. So I'm just not going to see y'all. Find somebody else to do it.
I think she's a therapist.
Because
I might have to fact check that though.
I
But
cannot
that's what
believe
the
this woman
response
is a
TikTok said.
therapist.
That's what the
She's
response
talking-
TikTok said.
Now, call me crazy, but it almost sounds like that stuff is part of her job.
She's
You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say.
I don't deserve that. I have been harmed enough for a lifetime.
Harmed?
I don't need to be harmed by my clients either.
If you think a free consultation, which is something literally every therapist does, to see if you're a good fit for both of you.
Yep.
Like as a therapist, you want to know if this is somebody you can help or not.
Yeah. If people can
that's
trigger you
considered-
that easily, you probably shouldn't be giving advice.
Yeah.
You're going to need therapy after seeing this therapist. You know,
You need to go work at the DMV if everybody is harming you.
That ain't fair. That ain't right.
Yep. You ever watch
So,
Family Guy? She looks
I
like
don't-
that sassy black nurse who gives you the advice at the end of the day. You can either cry about it or get busy living. Maybe that's the kind of therapist.
Yeah, she is.
Found her.
a therapist I would want, like a tough love therapist.
Her makeup looks great though.
Sign me
That's a
up.
positive.
Chrissy,
I
that was
definitely want a
sweet.
therapist who's taking breaks to do TikTok, though. I think that will really fucking
Like,
help.
what kind of therapist is she, Brittany? Is she like a mental health one? Is she like a trauma therapist? Like, what does it say?
You're lying on the
It says
couch.
mental
and
health
crying.
therapist. Like it's in white, but it's hard to read up there. But it's like right
Mental
by
health therapist? Is she
LCSW. What does that stand for? Licensed counselor,
Social worker, maybe?
worker?
Yeah. Social worker,
Oh.
maybe.
I like how we have to sound it out. Someone in the comments on the TikTok said, "Not what do you bring to the table as a therapist?" Like,
Oh, it's
literally what-
licensed clinical social worker.
I just feel like because she's saying like, okay, I'm not taking any more male clients. There's no way every single dude is sending her the exact same message. So there's to write off men altogether. Like,
I think every dude watching her right now, like me, is sending
well,
the same
maybe they're
message.
now.
Hey, baby, there's a
Oh,
future for you on the label of pancake syrup. That's what they're all saying.
This
I miss Aunt Jemima so
Me
much.
too.
She was
Okay.
just iconic.
She's now only working with Black women who are overcoming perfectionism.
Oh, so it's not just
Yeah.
men, it's all men and also white
And
men.
White
are out.
people, yeah.
So
That's what I was going to
racism.
ask. So if we were to reframe it as instead of men, you can't accept, like, I'm no longer
White
taking
people.
Black people because they've been giving me problems. I just wonder like,
Could
how
you
that would come
imagine?
across and how you guys would feel about it.
Oh my
Because
God,
I have
can you
a,
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a mixed opinion. I think as an individual, she has the freedom to associate with who she wants and work
True.
with who she wants.
Like
It's
the
her
gay
choice.
cake makers. Yeah.
For sure.
Or not the not gay cake
Well,
makers.
I
the
think
straight
if she
cake makers.
actually
They refuse gay cake
specializes
makers.
in, like, if she's just like, hey, I specialize in helping other Black women, and that's the kind of clients I want. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I don't like her explanation here, where it just seems more combative and like anti everybody else instead of okay,
Right.
these are the clients I'm comfortable with, and I can help the best.
This
Yeah,
is
it's
what
her
she's
gone
saying
out
is
of her
so-
way.
This is so
Sorry.
performative because
Mhm.
she could say exactly like Venti and Melonie's point, like, yeah, I specialize in working with women who overcome perfection, and then quietly you just choose Black women. You're free
Right.
to do whatever you want. Like it's your practice. You can. It's like a bartender turning away someone for being drunk. Like you can serve whoever you want to. or
They
don't
do
want
that?
to. But the fact that she's doing a TikTok about this is performative and virtue signaling, and she wants to get like cool racist points.
Right. Amen.
True.
She's gone out of her
Black
way.
women?
Oh, sorry. I keep
Sorry,
interrupting.
Sarah.
Overcoming perfectionism. That's it. That's it. We ain't doing nothing else. And I ain't got to do nothing but stay Black and
Stay
I'm
Black.
not mad
Nicole
at her
Wood.
honesty. I'll give her
Yeah.
that. She's honest.
Now I really
Keeping it
you know what?
real.
I want to be the
Shut up,
one
Dylan.
white person that like I guess breaks her is the wrong word, but like I want to be the one white person that like cracks her. You know what I mean? That like I want to be
You're a
the
buck
one
breaker?
whitey that gets through.
Phrasing.
You want to work. You want to work on her. Yeah, I get it. I get it. She's supposed to be the
I
therapist.
shouldn't have
but she-
used the words break or crack. I mean, get through to her, past the tough exterior, bring her out into the sun so she can
Yes.
see the truth of white people not being so bad.
How many white
That makes
patients?
sense?
How many white patients do you think she told that to? Stay black. What? Yeah, just stay black. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? As a patient,
Rachel Dolezal, Sean White,
as a patient, you know what I mean?
or Sean. What's his name? Yeah, those two people that pretend to be black. Rachel Dolezal and Sean. What's his name?
Sean Kingston? Is it
That's
Kingston?
it, yeah. They'd be good.
Sean
ones.
King. I was close.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah, that guy's got. She should take him as her only male client. I bet,
I bet the clients that are working on perfectionism are probably the easiest to have because what your feedback is going to be like, don't be so hard on yourself, and just versions of that, you know.
And they're going to be like, okay, I'm perfecting this.
People that are trying too hard,
And they would not activate her nervous system.
Yeah.
That one cracked me up. I was like, okay, if you're there to help people as a licensed therapist, but people can activate your nervous system. That's dangerous.
That's
Right.
true.
I think I'm going to say that from now on. You're activating my nervous system.
Yeah.
I wonder
Unless
where the
you're a
saying "stay black"
perfectionist, in
comes
which
from.
case you don't bother me one bit.
Yeah.
Where do you guys think "stay black" comes from? Do you think it has to do with like the culture of bleaching your skin, like a lot of celebrities do, or is it less literal?
Yes, because the phrase became more popular after Michael Jackson.
Like "stay black
Really?
and die" apparently
I've
is a
never
popular
heard this
phrase.
before, ever.
I would think it was more cultural.
Just in case you were thinking of it, stay black.
Same Tuggs.
If I can
it's
jump
just
in.
like, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, if I could jump in with what the guy Aaron said it perfectly. The Colin Kaepernick is reinventing Stay Black because his parents, who adopted him, you know, when black parents didn't want him, you know, they probably never let him stay black. That's probably going to really bring it back now.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I kind of like it. I think I'm going to start saying it.
Yeah, because
Stay black.
it's
I'm
a
gonna start saying it.
solidarity.
You go to
in the
Starbucks, you go stay black. Yeah, when you get your
American
coffee.
community
I'm
to
gonna do
not
it.
sell out. This is specifically to not sell out to Caucasian or non-black culture.
Oh,
Clearly,
way
this
of
means
life.
you have
So
to
it's
vote for
cultural,
Biden.
yeah.
So it basically means that they want you to stay in your poor neighborhood and stay poor and stay getting arrested and stay. Okay, cool.
On the corner. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because bettering
Ridiculous.
yourself is a white thing to do.
Clearly,
It's also how you say. It's also how you say "see you next week" at the unemployment office. I'm told, but hey.
Let's use it in a sentence.
Is that-
when my
is
brother
that-
heard that I would be attending Harvard next year, he cautioned me to stay black.
Oh,
that's funny.
Good.
It's like when Bill Cosby got canceled before the Mickey, right?
Wait, does
he
this
gave
Stay
that
Black
speech
magazine?
because
Stay
he
Black
said pull your
mug?
pants up.
You can
Yeah.
get a copy
I want
mug.
to get a Stay Black
What if we go
mug.
around saying "stop being black"?
Gotta get me one of
Stop
those.
it. What is it? Was there no picture? Oh, there we go.
Oh, I need one now.
Yes.
What's the back
Oh my
say?
God. You know what's so sad is this mug does not come in white. Or actually, they're all white.
What is happening? They're white.
Isn't that ironic?
It only comes in white.
Stay black.
They cost a lot, but they don't crack. Damn it, I really like that.
Black don't crack. I love it.
Thank you.
It really
Let me
does.
explain the highbrow level of comedy I'm bringing to that show. All right.
Oh my God, guys, you can customize this.
Why is this mug $32? I have questions.
That last one was
They
so
can-
black it was purple.
Merch will be like $30 for a mug just for a $2 profit.
Nice.
God,
The
you
leader
can
of
see
BLM
merch.
had a mansion, so there you
Merch
go. Trees,
profits are
whatever.
so slim.
Don't better.
Don't better
That's how
yourself.
it is.
at all.
Don't better yourself in any way, shape.
$32
I
to
think
stay
you can
black, I'll
only-
stay white.
All
Did it
right.
cut you off?
Oh wow. All right, this is fun.
Holla.
Would
gonna
you
have
put
fun with
like
this.
13 do 50 on the back? The statistic
What?
everyone always talks about: 13%
Oh.
population, 50% of the. Yeah,
That
it just hurts my
50 price point.
80% of the crime. Is that what that means?
It's 50.
Oh
It's
my
50.
God.
Oh, okay, got
It's
it.
more than 50 now, I think, in the more
80%
recent
of the crime.
statistic.
52.
But yeah, it's a stat
I
that's
love
been
it.
brought up over the years.
God,
JK,
send me
of
the
course.
link to that page. I need that for the desk.
I want that.
I
mug.
do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll pay 50.
God.
I'll pay 50.
Go as high
Yeah.
as 50.
Crack and break. Old
Yeah.
habits coming back, Chrissy. Oh, what does that mean? Thanks, EHAF.
Aw.
Womp womp. Okay, this is an interesting story. Let's see. Since we were talking about men and good and bad behavior, we love the Daily Mail female. I love this whole section. You could do a whole show just from this female section. Dear Jane, I'm torn between two women, the girlfriend I love and the ex who is amazing in bed. So who do I choose? Top author Jane Green gives very frank counsel to a man who wants the best of both worlds. In this week's Agony Aunt column, Jane
Where's
shares
the girl
advice with-
saying this? Like, if she knew this, would she stay? Like, how does she get the choice?
All right, here's the deal. Dear Jane, I've had an on-again, off-again girlfriend for a little over 2 years. I love her tremendously, and she is beautiful. We get along great and have really great relationship, but we are missing a spark. More me, I think. And we rarely have sex.
Break up.
More me, I think.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
me,
be done.
Yeah.
right.
It's not a great
You need to
relationship.
find
Then.
Rarely having
Off-again
sex
as it
is a
is.
huge red flag.
Yeah, and on again,
Especially
off
this
again. Obviously,
early.
you don't love her that much. Otherwise, you would be on and not on and off.
Yeah, you would not be off. For me, that's the one thing I want to fix, and we have tried working on it. Whenever I try to talk to her about things I would like, she seems to take it as a personal attack, which it is not. I'm just trying to tell her what it is that I want. Unfortunately, I don't
birth control.
yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly what I want. Right. Get her off birth control. See if she's actually attracted to you. And I think that part of the sexual energy is the allure of not knowing of what might happen. She was raised in a very conservative home and hasn't slept with many people. I think that has nothing
Sure
to do
she
with it.
hasn't.
Right. No, it doesn't.
I think that has nothing to do with it. I believe I have a lot more experience and perhaps might like more experience. First of all, having more experience does not make you
It
better
doesn't.
because you could just be
It does
doing the
not.
same thing to every girl
Right.
and thinking like
Yeah.
one note.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if it's non-committal. You're not
Making them another face in the crowd.
practice.
Well, and
Yeah.
that if a guy who's like really into hookup culture and hooking up with a bunch of women, and that's just showing that he's a selfish dude anyway, so he's probably selfish in bed too.
It's really all on the job experience. Like you truly don't know what the job requires till you're working that one job, you know?
I mean, am I?
okay.
Is it? Am I the only one that it's obvious to right off the bat? And please tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not. The guy's like, the girl I'm with is okay, but the sex with my ex is great. Yeah, because it's wrong. Like that's and I'm not even. I mean, it's literally, it's like, oh, what are we doing? That's why it's so good,
Right.
And then he's not. He has no intimacy. Take it from me. I'm a ladies' man. Look at.
I can
Let me say it with
tell.
this, but it is like if you're so used to the just fucking the wrong sex, which makes it right, then how are you gonna have the right sex without it being wrong? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When we broke up for a few months one time, I met someone else. Yeah, that means you should have been done.
Yeah.
We had great sexual chemistry and generally speaking, get along well, but not nearly as well as my girlfriend now. I recently got a promotion and have to move out of state. My girlfriend changed her mind and decided she wouldn't be going with me because we are not married. Yeah, then you're done. I would
Good.
happily propose, but can't do it without finding our sexual chemistry. Yeah, sounds like you guys are just wrong for each other. On the other
Right.
hand, the ex has reached out and wants to give it another try, and I'm keeping an open mind about that. In a perfect world, I wish I could combine the two women.
stupid.
And it would
He's
be
stupid.
perfect. Just combine them. Put
He's
them in
so
a blender.
Perfect world. Yeah.
What is it with people thinking we have to find like somebody who's perfect and checks literally every single
Right.
Laziness.
Like, that's-
Laziness.
Yeah. It's,
No, also,
it's all these
they're
perfectionists that need therapy.
Yeah.
But it can't be
Always,
white.
always
It
They
can't-
need to stay
Yeah.
black.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even that's great. Maybe it's not even laziness so much as fear of commitment. So as long as you look for someone who's perfect, which you'll never find, you
right.
never really have to commit to anyone.
Like Jerry
Right,
Seinfeld,
true.
everybody had something wrong. The peas one by one or whatever. I mean, he found
Right.
fault in everyone. Yeah.
I suppose it's a good problem to
He
have.
could become
and
Mormon.
Yeah, I was
true,
gonna
and
say
I'm
sister
very
love.
lucky.
No caffeine or alcohol, though.
but it's torture because I don't want to lose my girlfriend, but I can't keep her to myself if we aren't having sex. What advice do you have for me, please? Any thoughts from wanting the best of both worlds? Is this the lady who's giving the advice? Oh no.
That's Tootsie. Remember
She's
Tootsie?
okay
That's what
with
she
the
looks like.
gray. She looks like Stevie Wonder or Stevie Nicks with gray
Wow.
hair.
Oh, is her name the Dear Jane Agony Aunt? That's who she is. Okay. Dear wanting the best of both worlds. You can't have it, I'm afraid. Whilst. Well, there's no need to use this word ever. This is a completely unnecessary word. You spend how much money for an advanced degree, and now you just say whilst in sentences. Whilst I don't think that great sex is an absolute prerequisite for a marriage.
It is.
You do both have to be on the same page, particularly in the beginning. Our needs and wants change throughout a marriage, particularly for women around menopause. Doesn't sound like anyone's near that though. But knowing you have different wants, it sounds like she's in menopause and she's like it's on her mind. Particularly for me, dear Jane. But knowing you have different wants and needs while you are still dating and being unhappy because you rarely have sex is a terrible foundation for a marriage. I don't think either of these women are right for you, and I would take some time to think about why you feel the need to commit at this particular time. Ooh, you have a lot going on with changing jobs, moving to another state, which is where your focus and energy need to be. I would also be extremely wary of any kind of ultimatum. The fact that your girlfriend won't move with you unless you propose seems like the worst kind of ultimatum. If and when you propose to anyone, it must be because you have found a partner who meets you not on every level, but certainly on the levels that are important to you, one of which is clearly sex. This is where I disagree with this therapist lady, because the only reason why this girlfriend is asking for the ultimatum because they've like broken up. So I think her faith in him is a bit shaken.
Right.
And they've already been separated. So she's like, okay, I'm not going to make this big commitment to you by moving until you make a big commitment to me.
I like the ultimatum.
So
She's
she
saying,
shouldn't
look,
even
I'm not
be
going
with
to
him
fuck
'cause
around.
she doesn't
literally.
trust him.
Right. It doesn't sound like, yeah. She's
No,
like, are we
I
really
agree with
doing
her. I
this?
agree
Because
with
I'm not
her
going
on
to
the
up and
overall.
move.
I was in a relationship once, and my partner gave me an ultimatum. He said, either quit drinking or I'm leaving the show. Episode 1000 of In Hot Water this Tuesday. I'm sorry.
But now look at
I'll be
you,
by the way, and I'll be drinking. So there you go. Ultimatums
go.
always work.
Look how great you're doing. Let's see. Does she say anything else?
Geno is 90. They just keep upping my age, these motherfuckers. You're still not even close. Keep going. Fuck it. I'm sorry. I made it about me. I'm sorry. Geno
it's okay.
is 90.
What a creepy picture. Oh my gosh.
Whether your girlfriend has a low sex drive or whether it is the particular dynamic with you, trust me on what I'm about to say. It isn't going to change.
Mhm.
As for the ex, and I think all of their problems have to do with the woman's like shake and the confidence in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As for the ex, she needs to stay an ex. Great sex with the wrong person is just that. Great sex with the wrong person. And the wrong person will never miraculously turn into the right wife. Take some time enjoying being single and explore exactly what it is you like when it comes to sex. Get comfortable with that and comfortable sharing those needs and wants with whoever you are having sex with. I would put all serious relationships on the back burner at least till you're settled, and truthfully, until you have sown a few more oats and grown comfortable with who you are in the bedroom. Do you guys agree with this or disagree with her advice?
Yeah, I think she's right on that part. Great sex is with the wrong person is just great sex with the wrong person.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think she makes a valid point with the ultimatum thing too. Now obviously in this case, I think her saying that is like what you said, Chrissy, where it's like, well, I can't trust the relationship. But yeah, if that's the ultimatum, it's me or the dog kind of thing.
Oof. The dog is always gonna win.
What I'm getting
Look
from
at
this
her.
is he suddenly has options, and now all of a sudden his ego is just out of this world, and he just thinks that he's all that now. And here's the thing: is like this is why when it comes like a lot of girls might say like, oh, okay, if you date down a little bit, they won't cheat on you. But guys who have more options and are still faithful, like the guys who have more options honestly will cheat less usually than guys who don't have options because they haven't ever been in an opportunity to cheat. And all of a sudden they're put in an opportunity to cheat and they think they're just like all of a sudden. Yeah. So that's what this kind of looks like to me.
Yeah, this guy has no idea what he wants, so he just wants something else. So when he's with his wife, girl, he wants the ex, and then he has the crazy sex, like, I'm getting something else. But then he doesn't want that. he's going to go back to that chick, I guarantee. And
I think he's in this phase where like I'm gonna go to wherever the like Pepe Le Pew following the stink lines. He's like, I'm just gonna go to whoever makes me feel good at any particular time.
Yep.
Pepe Le Pew following the stink.
That's a very
line.
woman move.
I know.
Yeah. Poor Pepe Le Pew. He just wanted the girl.
I just like to say stink lines.
Pheromones.
Okay, let's see. Did we want to talk about this other one? I mean, this next thing is about a woman who's wondering if she's with an alcoholic. I don't know if that's going to be triggering for Geno.
You can sign Keanu. Fuck everyone. I get it. It's an intervention. I get it.
That's what this really is.
Cover your ears.
Imagine all this. I think my husband is an alcoholic. We've been married for 4 years, and I've always enjoyed drinks together. We both love going out for cocktails on occasion and relaxing with a bottle of wine or martini in the evenings. Sounds like you both fucking drink. But recently I've started to notice that he's drinking. Because it's like, if you're having a martini on a fucking Wednesday, like, y'all drink.
That's heavy.
You know?
Right.
But recently I've started to notice that he's drinking more than double what he was 6 months ago. I've always, maybe he's, it's like, this
Maybe
is the woman.
Shane.
This woman is like in the relationship with the last guy who's figuring out if he should leave her or not.
Oh, that's great.
He keeps texting with this other woman. I've always been used to him staying in control on a night out, but in the past few months he's been getting sloppy, and it's frankly become a bit embarrassing. My husband works from home, and quite often he's like, I'm just at happy hour, baby. And quite often when I get back to the house after a day at the office, he's already finished a bottle of wine.
He's living the best life right now. He gets to work from home.
Is that a big deal?
Heck, sign me up.
He's still in lockdown mode. God bless. I don't want to make a mountain of our molehill. It sounds like you already think it's a fucking
You are
mountain.
definitely doing that.
Our molehill made of bottles. But I'm starting to get really concerned, and I'm just not sure how I tell him without sounding like I'm causing a scene for no reason. Even now, I'm worried.
Jealous, honestly.
I'm totally crazy and hysterical from shaken up and stirred. Now, Geno. Yeah, as you mentioned before, you had a podcast partner who thought that you drank too much.
And if you didn't see, Keanu already put the comment. I'm not wondering about this at all. But this is the thing. Like, it's funny you bring up my ex. It's like my ex-partner. I read stuff like this, and this is the stuff that makes me think that I'm not an alcoholic, because I see the shit they do, and I'm like, I know everyone thinks I start drinking it in hot water and I drink till 3 a.m. No, I'm done an hour later. And the other thing is Berg quit drinking, and he's still very sober. My ex, but he would say, he's like, why'd you stop drinking? He's like, well, I used to have a bottle of wine a night, and I'd say, yeah. He's like, and then I would go out and do spots and drink another bottle of wine. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I would never. I don't like drinking alone. I'm a social drinker.
No.
Get over here, ladies.
Here's the thing is, like, they started this relationship both drinking.
Right.
What sounds like kind of a lot.
Sounds like she's a quitter is what it sounds like.
You have to do it
She's
together or not do
jealous.
it together, because the other person's going to influence the other person. Imagine if your husband or your wife just has a terrible diet. Like, it's going to affect you and your diet. So same thing with drinking. You have to decide that together if you guys are going to drink or you're not going to drink.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I would try to do if I was this woman? Because you can't tell someone to stop drinking because that's triggering. And I don't have a problem, even if they do.
It won't work either.
It won't work. And it's like now you're coming off sounding like the parent, like reprimanding. I would say, like, can you, like, I really like drinking with you. Can you wait till I come home? That way you're at least buying some time. Like, you're buying yourself a few hours. Like, you're like, I don't, because it doesn't sound like she's just pissed that she arrives home and he's already, he started without her. He's already drunk. Like, they get drunk together, it seems. So
make it a group activity.
Office. He gets to stay home. She's jealous. I'm just,
she's jealous of his liver. You and your liver.
I agree about the doing it with your partner thing, about like wait until I get there, because I get FOMO too for that sort of thing. Like, I do that with Sean sometimes. I'm like, no, you can't do XYZ thing unless I'm there. And it's vice versa too. Like, I don't keep alcohol in the house anymore. I don't drink alone anymore. I think that's how it leads to alcoholism, or being alcoholic rather, is when you start drinking at home, because then you're just drinking anytime. You're just giving yourself a pass constantly.
If you're drinking vodka and or rum at noon, Like,
Yeah.
that's
And
an.
it's not Whiskey Wednesday.
Yeah, but we don't start till 2. Might have 1:30 a pop just to lubricate ourselves. But
right.
You ever talk to these people like they're drinking vodka a bottle a day? Like that's
bad.
That's a
problem. Not 3/4 a bottle of whiskey every 2 days.
Or there, or
Right.
This is terrible. I'm still drinking it. These spiked seltzers have like nothing. The 4.5% alcohol by volume. That's like a juice box.
Right.
JC gets it. Dubra vodka martinis. You got it, buddy. We're doing those Tuesday. Oh.
Okay, let's see what
we were
Jane
drinking
has to say.
Dubra recently. That's alcohol.
Dubra.
That's if you've ever had Dubra vodka, it is
Yeah.
$12.99 for a handle, and it's
Yeah.
made in New Hampshire. That I had it for the first time. I'm going to do it every year. March 7th on my anniversary of living in New York. We've decided because I did it this past one.
That's
It's
Dubra Day?
coincidence. That's Dubra Day. Time to pay
Day?
your Dubras.
If you're drinking Dubra or Majorska, yeah, you're gonna need some help. All right, let's
Yeah.
see what she has to say about this. First, according to a new study released by the CDC and Prevention in collaboration with the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, or SAMHSA, 9 out of 10 adults who drink too much alcohol are not alcoholics. Well, that's comforting.
Yay!
Look at that. That's
So
us,
can I
guys.
go? And then there's Geno.
How? This is how you know they're encouraging people to
Like,
be
how
drunk.
does that even make
Because
sense?
they do say 9 out of 10 adults who drink too much alcohol. They're not even quantifying it. They're just saying, if you drink
What
too
is
much,
too
don't worry. You're not.
9 out of 10 people who eat too much are not fat.
Yeah.
The same CDC that told you lockdowns and masks.
Yes.
Well, you know.
There you go.
They're like,
right.
that is the last
Nope.
straw. I don't care what they said about that C word. When they said, and Geno's not an alcoholic, why would you trust the CDC anymore?
Yeah.
Why would
The
you?
only person who can actually decide on whether or not they're an alcoholic is the person who is drinking too much. What a relief.
So it's only if you
this is
identify as an
accurate.
alcoholic. It doesn't matter
my
what your
God.
actions are.
Imagine you're obese and you're just like, I identify as skinny.
They want you
Yeah.
addicted,
Good
lazy.
grief.
That's
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Good
that's
man.
very
They want you
confusing.
drunk at all times. And part of the problem with those we love doing too much of what is not good for them is less about how they behave, but about how it affects us, the people who wish they would stop. The fact that you are writing in that you are worried you are being crazy and hysterical suggests to me that an intervention is needed. But you literally just said that 9 out of 10 people
Which is it,
are not
Jane?
alcoholics. Which is it,
God.
Jane? Of course, the right thing to
So it's
do.
about how it affects us, not
Wow,
what
I
we're
hate
witnessing with it.
her advice already.
Wow.
Of course, the right
Geno
thing
might
to
be
do
an
is
alcoholic, but he's also not funny.
to first bring it up with him calmly and when he is not drinking. Oh, at first I thought she said the first thing to do is break up with him. All right, never mind. But although we
That
want to
would be
think
bad.
that if they loved us and saw how much they are hurting us, I think what she's feeling is just FOMO. They would
Yeah.
stop. That is not the case with addicts and alcoholics. If they could stop, they would. But they are in the grip of something they have no power over. Morning promises to stop will dissolve by cocktail hour, leaving partners furious, hurt, and convinced that if only their drinking would stop, everything would be fine. This sounds counterintuitive, but the very best advice I can give you is to take the focus off his drinking and put the focus on your own happiness by taking yourself to an Al-Anon meeting. What? She's saying to her, go to Alcoholics Anonymous. It's ostensibly for friends and family of alcoholics, but in truth, it's for anyone who is letting someone else's behavior disproportionately affect them. Really?
So
Okay.
Aaron should have gone to AA.
Yes,
Motherfucker.
He should have sent himself.
You know
He
what,
should've
Aaron,
done
you need to
direct-
go to I'm sitting there with a bottle of whiskey halfway through the show. You need to go to a meeting, bitch.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you're
Right,
the
Where was this
problem.
article a year ago? Fuck.
Viking says Aaron Berg was a buzzkill for always complaining about Geno saying Nicholas Gurr. Geno is funnier than Berg. Thank you.
I'll drink to
Viking,
that.
for the super
Ooh,
chat.
I
This
just
is-
don't understand what this sounds like. Just so much walking on eggshells and tiptoeing around the issue. Why can't she just have a conversation with them and say, I noticed that when I get home from work, you've drank through a whole bottle of wine. Can we talk about this? Because I think this
Yes.
might be a little much. Why
Yeah.
is that hard?
Exactly.
This
Right.
just
Right
the
to this
therapist
person.
sucks, I think.
Just talk to your husband.
Yeah.
How is
Yeah.
that hard?
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
think if this was not always the case, you think his increased drinking might have something to do with the fact that he's like still working from home. Maybe he hates his job. Maybe there's something
Right.
really stressful going
Yeah,
on. Like,
he's for sure soothing
Like,
himself.
talk
can we
about
not
it.
get into the reason why he's drinking? I don't think it's just like me like drinks. Like
There's
they
an
taste
actual
good.
solution though that nobody talks about for some reason, but it's an effective treatment. Like even if you're weak-willed, there's something called NAC, and it's an acronym. It's basically a supplement. They actually use it in hospitals intravenously when someone ODs because it's used to protect your liver, I believe it is, and after you've been exposed to like whatever chemical. So it's a supplement you can take, and you could take it before you drink, and it helps protect your body after you drink. And then it also curbs cravings if you take it every day. So I don't know why nobody talks about this. Like,
why do we not have an NAC sponsor, Venti? This seems like a perfect match.
Yeah, I've never heard of this. I was married to an addict for 20 years, and I've never
wow.
ever heard of that.
That's
I've
There's
heard
a
of
really good
Al-Anon,
TED talk on
Nar-Anon.
it. I take it. I've been taking it for a
Amy,
year.
so this is your wheelhouse right here.
It kind of is, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna finish
But it wasn't
reading.
alcohol. It was heroin. He was using the hard stuff. But yeah.
Wait, Carolyn?
Heroin, meth.
Heroin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Like, Carolyn, what's that? Is
Yeah.
that
Like,
oh
that-
my God.
is that like kids? Is that what the kids are getting into now? Okay. You will find the room filled with people who have learned to live and let live, who recognize that they are powerless over people, places, and things, also known as nouns, who realize that the only person they can control is themselves. One of the hardest lessons is detachment, recognizing that we each have our own path and that it doesn't matter how much you cajole, plead, threaten, or shout. If he is an alcoholic, he will not be able to stop drinking by himself, nor is he likely to get into a 12-step program until he's ready. And sadly, that often happens when things hit rock bottom. However, your marriage ends up, you probably already know that monitoring his drinking, counting the wine bottles in the garbage, feeling your entire body tense as he gets sloppier and sloppier is no way to live. Al-Anon will give you not only support and tremendous wisdom, but tools and traditions that will allow you to find peace, whether or not he continues drinking. I am sending you a huge hug. This woman sucks.
Yeah, there's no peace.
Terrible advice.
Terrible advice.
Get out of there.
I don't know. Maybe I'm my dad drank a lot and I always go like, was he an alcoholic or just he had problems coping and just drank fucking 8 to 10 beers a night? Who knows? Like but also I just don't think that I don't like even the title of alcoholic because it's so like permanent. And I always like to think that people can change and people have control.
Somebody in the comments said alcoholic is behavior, alcoholism is addiction. I thought that was really, really poignant, really succinct.
I'm not trying to like justify my possible alcoholic dad, but I think there's something, even like myself, I took the ADD test, passed it with flying colors, had an Adderall prescription. And I was like, I don't like being a person with a prescription and now I have this title of this thing that I have. And I also don't like being reliant on a drug that I may or may not be able to keep affording, may or may not have insurance for. So I just stopped taking it. And I was like, I don't want to identify with that. Like, how about I just work on my focus?
Right.
I'll just do brain teasers. I haven't. I just don't like.
Stuff is parasites too.
What?
Yeah, there's a
so
lot.
let's play. Yeah, maybe I have worms.
Well, and I think what the case with this
is it worse during the full moon?
What would I rather have, ADD or worms?
I think
Worms will help you lose weight.
Yeah.
You can eat a lot and still, lose weight. So, does your butt itch? That's the thing with worms. If your butt itches,
I do drag myself across the carpet with my front legs.
There it is. Eat a lot
speed.
of shit then, because you can get away with
company is over. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, dang that itchy butthole. Oh.
Well, I think what this thing is the lady giving advice is just so quick to just be like, oh yeah, he go to Alcoholics Anonymous because he's definitely an alcoholic. He's probably sounds like he's an alcoholic when it's like the wife mentioned that he monitored his drinking just fine. This was just a very recent thing. So instead of just jumping to these huge conclusions, shouldn't they just talk about it first? I just don't understand.
Yes.
NAC is really not that expensive. It's like the same price as other supplements. I really just don't understand. Like, even if you weren't an alcoholic, it protects you while you drink. Why would you not just take it before you drink? Take 1 to 2 pills and it helps.
I've never even heard of it.
And it prevents hangovers, by the way. Tested it. Never got
What is it
hungover.
again, Brittany?
Not everybody is
NAC?
on this pill scene.
Yeah, I know it also helps
Yeah.
break down spike proteins for people who might want to break down spike proteins for certain reasons.
Why would you want to do that?
I can't imagine.
So does quercetin, but people keep making fun of me. It does.
But you need like a concoction of like NAC, nattokinase or nacotinase, and then bromelain.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you should
Quercetin
take
with bromelain is really good too. I've had that. Yeah. I've been taking that.
Wow. You can treat medical issues ranging from psychological disorders to chronic lung conditions and to improve athletic performance. Maybe the real female swimmers need to take this to compete with the trans.
Yeah.
To keep them like,
It's
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
list too, that of all the ones that they're trying to remove from the
It has
You with your
fentanyl in it now.
bipolar, your obsessive compulsive, and schizophrenia. It treats excess mucus. And it improves
Schizophrenia and mucus. Well, there you go.
improves insulin sensitivity in people with PCOS.
PCOS.
Polycystic
Jaquan in the
ovary
chat says that there's fentanyl in it now.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
what?
That's bad.
Well,
It's so
I mean, what are you going to
sad.
do? What are you going to
Wow, it
do?
can help you with gambling addiction,
Find the
nicotine
organic version.
dependence,
Gambling addiction?
nail
I'll
biting,
take it anyway.
Gambling addiction.
skin picking.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. That's a meth thing, right? Skin picking?
Wow.
There's a lot of children
Interesting.
that have that problem.
I wish I didn't know as much about that as I do, but I do.
So, Amie, this was your kind
I
of
hear
your
you.
world. I don't mean to pry, but what do you
It's
think
okay.
of what's going on here, and what do you think of her advice?
Oh, I mean, so the issue I had was, Al-Anon, Nar-Anon said, go to your meetings and let him handle his own thing. Well, I had 5 kids. I can't just let him handle his own thing. He was the breadwinner. We had a flooring business. I can't just kind of let him go over here and rot and keep going to his dealer and doing all this crazy stuff. So that's where I disagree with NA. I know it's you got to laugh or you'll cry. I mean, seriously, it is.
No,
funny.
I think
It's
Brittany was
ridiculous.
sneezing.
I thought she
okay.
was laughing too, though. I
thought
really
so,
did.
too.
Oh, no, I
was a
sneezed.
sneeze.
That was-
Wait,
Oh my
wait,
God,
I'll laugh.
You're literally
He ruined your life.
laughing at
All right.
We're
It's
not
that
that
ridiculous,
twisted.
though. It is.
I
But,
thought she was laughing, swear to God.
The idea that it's a disease, which is what Narcotics Anonymous and Al-Anon, preached, then that kind of takes away from the responsibility of the choices that you're making. Okay, fine. The first time you relapse, the first hit, the first drink, whatever, maybe that's just, weakness or the disease. But after that, you're making choices here. You're making choices that affect people other than yourself. So it's a very difficult situation. And unfortunately, I know way too much about it. I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
Do you hear this and go, yep, cut and dry. He needs to
Oh,
go
yeah.
into a program.
Yep.
Or do you go, okay, maybe this is situational. Maybe this can be changed.
Well, of course, alcoholism is different. This was drug addiction. I'm not as familiar with the alcoholic. But however, he did eventually go to AA meetings because they were drug dealers outside of the NA. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
They're absolute scoundrels.
That's like bobbing for apples. That's
Oh
so
my
mean.
goodness.
That's like
Yeah.
that's so.
Well,
like
that's
a
what
shit-
happens with
that's
the
what it's
sex
called. Shooting
trafficking,
fish in a
too.
barrel. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Horrible.
It's messed
But
up.
he had better luck at AA meetings. So I'm not as familiar with Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't know, what constitutes an alcoholic. I don't know if it's the same thing. I really don't know. I'm drinking wine right now, but I'm not an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? However, if I were sitting here shooting up heroin, I've got a problem.
Yeah, we'd introduce you to
different.
Artie Lang.
I literally have not drank all weekend because I'm dreading how much Tuesday. Are you coming by, Chrissy, on Tuesday?
Yes. I had another.
Add another
appointment
4
fall
shots
through.
to the mix. What's that? I'm sorry.
Good.
But
I thought I was gonna have to leave early because I had like a wedding related appointment to go to, but that got rescheduled. So now I'm all yours, baby.
woohoo! Kiana will be
Wahoo.
there. Stancil and Dombrowski. I think I'm gonna have Corn Diff Skype in just out of a tradition. We love that kid. It's gonna be nuts.
Cool. Yeah, the 1000th episode of Geno's show in Hot Water on Compound Media. Tune in at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's 2 to 3:30.
Well, it's 2:15 to 3:45 because the dump always goes a little long.
You get started a little late.
But it's on. It's on. Yeah.
Wow, I'm over here. I feel bad about starting my show 5 minutes late, but you're over there starting 15 minutes late.
No, I'm ready to go at 2, but the dump just goes a little longer, and we're slowly ratcheting all the shows 15 minutes later. I think the ball starts at 4:15 and goes to like 6:15 now.
I'm always an hour late to my streams. I run on color people time.
It's because you're a perfectionist, Venti. You're just a perfectionist, you know?
Oh, yeah, that therapist, she's probably always late, right? The one that won't see white men.
Yeah. Not because she's black, but because she's a perfectionist.
No, it's because she's staying black.
She stay black.
Got to stay black, you know?
What is it? You just take your watch off your friend and be like, you're not going to need that.
Yeah.
You show up
Stay
when you
black.
feel like it, okay?
No watch for you, Brittany.
You show up when you're good and ready.
Punctuality is white.
You know, are you concerned? I hear these Trump-related protests are going to pop off Monday, tomorrow, in the city. I guess he's finally getting arrested for his Stormy Daniels snafu.
I heard, and please, anyone correct me, because I just I half-ass listen to stuff now because it's so goddamn frustrating with all that's going on.
Yep.
So you're telling me we're going to arrest Trump for paying, even if it were true, for paying a hooker hush money, while there's no doubt you can connect all the dots with what's going on with the Biden family, and within days after they said $3 million was shelled to 3 different Biden people and a 4th with just the name Biden. So my point is, like, I have trouble listening, and the last thing I heard about this was they would have to extradite him from Florida, and DeSantis would never let that happen. So that's where I am. So I don't know.
DeSantis has been quiet on it so far, though.
But there's no way DeSantis, if that's, and again, I'm not saying I know, but if that's the thing where they'd have to extradite him and DeSantis, like, it's up to DeSantis, whatever that means, then there's no way he would do that. You know, because then he would be the villain. He would be complicit. That's the word. That's the fancy word I'm looking for.
Trump's been saying. Is that for sure? That they'd have to
Are you asking me?
extradite him?
Because I don't know if anything's for sure.
I don't know.
I really do.
I heard it was happening, but who knows?
Because again, am I the only one that just goes, I can't even listen to this anymore? This is fucking insane.
I'm there with you.
I just tap out.
Too much. It's too much.
It's
so much going on.
It's too much nonsense. It's too much
practice from the banks.
Wow. The NYPD said it will be ready in the event Trump is charged and unrest breaks out. Like, sorry,
But
it's
it
not going to be
won't.
summer of love like I think they want it to be. It's like it's the same thing. Like the 6th, they really want people to think it's more violent than it really was. They're like
agree.
praying for unrest. They're trying to manifest unrest.
1,000%. I think you're right.
Rally. No.
All right, I'm trying to see what they're like, because Trump is full time now. He's still in Florida, right? Even though he's got a New York City residence.
He's at Mar-a-Lago.
We'll make sure that peaceful protest. Yeah, Bragg's office referred a request for comment on blah blah blah. Yeah, is there really a need? Yeah, have the girl outside with the gun. That's what tells you they're really not worried. Like, look, we have Lucy stationed outside the Trump Tower.
She's so
You know
little
what?
too.
Yeah, you know that girl that got banged out by her 6 coworkers in Tennessee? We've moved her to New York City, and she.
Oh my
she's
God!
on
Did
the
you
case.
hear? Did you hear that she's claiming that she was groomed?
Yeah,
I heard about
that.
Let's talk about it. Hold on, Tennessee.
I was like, girl, just admit, it's fine. Like, just admit it. You have a high body count. Just
There
chill.
you go.
Yeah.
Feminism is dead. Just admit you
Yeah,
want
own it, baby.
You wanted it.
Own it. Yeah.
Come on now.
Own it.
She
You're
liked
just
it.
embarrassed. I don't know what's more embarrassing, her being embarrassed that she did these things and claiming that she was groomed, or her husband for staying with her. I really just don't know.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Guys, we have a new guest. also from Compound Media. Oh my goodness. He's a triple threat. He has a show called It's Erik Nagel and Would You Kindly. He works for Compound. He works for iHeart Radio. I may have gotten some or all of that wrong. We call him affectionately Erock. What's up, Erik Nagel? Welcome to the show. Hope there's not too many women here.
No, Geno and I are here to raise the estrogen level in this chat.
A lot of estrogen, I was gonna say, yeah.
My uterus is killing me. Thank God you're here.
I know, we're about to sync up.
Erock and I were just on an episode of Who Are These Pods? Who Are These Podcast yesterday with Carl.
That was a lot of fun.
That was so fun. And for anyone who doesn't know anything about the show, they review podcasts. And that's how me and Carl first met. He actually reviewed one of my very early podcasts. It might have been the one I did with Geno, or I don't know. It might have been a different one. But then over the months and years, we became friends. So Erik and I were on reviewing this podcast called Pitch This, which is like, it's probably the worst thing I've ever listened to. It's just like these young, like by young, I mean like I know they're 30 years old, but they're trying to pitch like spec scripts. Like, oh, what if it was a combination of Bob's Burgers and White Lotus? What would that sound like? And it's so cringy because
it was the text version of a comic saying, what would this person and that person sound like? It might go a little something like this. And then they turn around from the microphone and then turn around to do the horrible impression. That's what they were doing here. Chrissie figured out later in the show that these guys, it just sounds like, you know, a bunch of like theater nerds or the AV squad that worked in at the high school. This whole podcast is just them doing spec scripts in order to try to get noticed by somebody to pick up their work and get a job in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It sounds like Come
so
Town.
terrible.
They're trying to get noticed.
But like the scuffed version of Come Town, the podcast. It's renamed something else now because they got rid of the guy who has that weird laugh that does it every 5 seconds.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Come, as in C-U-M, Come Town?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was big for a while. Yeah.
The weird laugh
It
seems
was
appropriate at this point.
I think it fell off. I don't know what happened.
Well, it was Nick Mullins and the Greek guy. I can't think of what his
They
name
renamed
is.
it because
Stavros.
they renamed it because the guy who laughs, I think it's Stavros. I don't remember their names.
Yeah, he left.
But yeah.
Oh, he left? Oh my god.
So
I'm
that's
so
why
behind.
it's something show now.
Yeah, they were killing it for like they were huge on Patreon. Like their numbers were unreal. And yeah, Stavros left, and then like Nick's not hurting. He's doing his new podcast. He's out touring and opening or featuring whatever you guys do with other big comics. So it's like he never missed a beat. He just kept going.
And it was fun. We reviewed some of our good friend. I don't really talk about him much anymore. Like really since I guess October when we're talking about Chad Zumock when he was kind of threatening to come to the October show that we had at the what was that comedy club called? The Orlando
Improv.
The the Improv. And I haven't really talked about Chad in months, but Chad loves talking about all of us. But this was a funny moment. I think part of what we were reviewing, somebody clipped it, but this was just for those of you that are unfamiliar with Chad, I think this is a good intro here.
The lies never stop. Cut them loose. Misdemeanor.
It's Canada money. It doesn't mean anything. Did you tell your lady friend what happened? Does she know what happened when she left?
Ugh.
Oh, the setup for this is Chad has had like a 2-week-long saga. Like one day he came on a live stream. Oh my God, I got punched in the face by an Anthony Cumia fan. They said, oh, like this is Cumia country or don't fuck with Cumia or something like that.
Don't fuck with Cumia.
Don't fuck with Cumia. And it turns out that he was lying about it. And everyone's trying to, because his story keeps changing. And a lot of people think that he got caught stealing catalytic converters and he got popped in the eye because his face and hands were all greasy when he did that initial live stream. And there was no report of a police report or a hospital visit. And he didn't go to the hospital till like way after the fact. So basically it's a guy who lies, basically like a Jussie Smollett situation on a much smaller, more pathetic level. And he's just like, again, like the Pepe Le Pew following the stink lines. He's like that with attention, whether it's positive or mostly negative. So he just goes from like one kind of dramatic lie to the next.
I texted her. I go, dude, you'll never believe what happened. And she goes, what?
Nobody did.
He's literally, I've said this all week. He is literally Bradley Cooper now at the end of Nightmare Alley. He literally has to go onto this show, get abso-smurfly shit all over just so he can make that super chat money. And he's so livid with it. He showed up hammered the other day. And then, I'm sorry, Ray DeVito, who's just comedy antimatter, took his place.
Oh.
And he's
poor Ray.
He's not. Stop it.
Crap on.
But yeah, it's if instead of watching MLC, watch Nightmare Alley, it's a lot more entertaining. And you get to see Bradley Cooper's dick if you really pay attention. And Daddy does. So there you go.
Yeah, and I don't think Erock either tends to. I think most of us don't really. We prefer not to talk about Chad just because it's not that interesting, and we all have other stuff going on. But we both go on Carl's show, and Carl kind of I guess has a segment now. So
yeah, he was on top of that stuff, just like the Stuttering John stuff before everybody else really was. So, it's you going on to his show, that's going to come up. So. You do have to be part of it. You can't just go there and say, oh, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be part of this thing, because then why be on the show? But yeah, Carl's been on that for a while. And then I don't know. Is it bigger than the Stuttering John stuff now? Is the Chad saga bigger than anything that was going on with John?
Wow.
I think it depends on the universe. I think it depends on the universe you're in, if that makes sense, right?
Because Stuttering John would lie about not being a substitute teacher, and then somebody would get a picture of him teaching a class or something. So they both lie about that. I don't think Stuttering John has ever lied about being assaulted, though. And also Stuttering John hasn't got caught stealing a bunch of wallets or, has an ankle bracelet and can't leave the state. There's different degrees.
I'm not talking about what they've individually done. I'm talking about what the world that's obsessed around them. I mean, because John's been kind of MIA since October? I think October, November. So I guess the Chad thing kind of filled the vacuum that John had made by taking his ball and going home. But now he's threatening to come back. We'll see if that happens. And then if you've got Chad's thing going white hot and then John's thing comes white hot, it's where do you send your super chats to? Where do you divide your time through all of this? How do you keep up with all of it?
They're both two lol cows for anyone trying to figure out who these people are. Stuttering John Melendez was I guess a lol cow from Howard Stern. He was a mascot, and then had an overinflated ego, and then he got he ended up falling backwards into a job at the Tonight Show. I guess I don't know. They tried to
Chrissy before you interviewed him and started the word dabbler. Who'd you call? And he said to you, "Watch this guy. He's a disingenuous piece of shit."
He's a disingenuous. For the whole dabbling thing, because you said, yeah, he kind of does stand up. You could ask him, does he really do any stand up? You could ask him about that, because I don't really think he does much stand up. So that's why I said, do you dabble?
Yeah, but I didn't say dabble. That is, let me say this. That is all you, young lady. I never said that. But yeah, he's just one of those guys that I worked with him when he was when I was doing Artie's podcast, and he would just show up and drink beer in front of Artie and just be an asshole. And one time it's like, yeah, well, when I was on the Tonight Show, and a lot of fans remember this. I kept saying, you were on the Tonight Show, and it was driving him nuts. He goes, yeah. He's like, what the fuck were you on? I'm like, nothing, but you were on the Tonight Show? Because he's another circus freak. He's a dabbler. You nailed it.
I guess we're all circus freaks in a way. Speaking of which, Brittany Venti has to jump off.
Speaking of which,
what a horrible way to outro you. You deserve better, Venti. What is going on for you this week? Where can people find you, follow you?
I'm working on a big video that's going to come out. It's going to be a lolcow video, so keep an eye out for that. It's taking a while to do because I'm having to fact check a lot. But that's a big thing, and I'll probably stream one more time before I release that video. Depends how long.
Ooh, what's it about?
I don't want to say who it's about, but it's someone that most people know about. And nobody's covered it yet. So
is it Geno?
No.
Is it me?
Could have teased it a little more verve, a little more elan there. Come on.
The last person you want to piss off because she goes deep. She's like an investigative reporter.
So
She can
smart.
sniff out bullshit better than anybody. She's the best.
I've been doing like 12-hour shifts for this video. I'm so tired. I'm sleep deprived for the past few days. And my fire alarm in my building went off 3 times.
I hate that.
Oh no.
The whole
hate that.
building.
It's so loud.
I hate that.
Could
Was
not
there no
sleep.
fire? I guess
No,
that's
it
good.
was just a glitch because it was cold and the water broke or something. So it did it at 8 a.m. and then or like 10 a.m. and then so I was on 2 hours of sleep because I'm going to bed at like 8 a.m. And then it went off again at right before 1 p.m. So I couldn't sleep. And then it went
Wait,
off
if you're-
again at 12 at night.
Your fire alarm is going off because there's water. Isn't that the opposite?
So it's
of
the
what
whole
should be
building.
happening?
It's not, it's, yeah, I know that's funny, but
They
water
like
that
you're
can happen.
pissed, but
Apparently it
there's also
freezes
not a
and
fire.
breaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to call
Ridiculous.
911 at 12 at night, be like, hey, it's going off again. Come turn it
Kyle's
off.
a smart man. He says it went off due to the low line pressure. See, I don't even know what that means, but I believe him.
He's a plumber.
Low flow shower head. I don't like the sound of that.
But
No,
yeah,
Seinfeld
follow
has a whole
Venti
episode about that.
on her YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday Supermodel Instagram.
And Brittany
And
Venti on
before you
Instagram,
go,
too.
Brittany, I loved your video that Frank posted on Twitter of you and Chrissy on the very first one with Eliza. You were so good on that one. Everyone should watch it.
Oh,
You
really?
just
I'll go take a look
reeled
at it.
in.
Venti, you know what we should do is like
You
we should
reeled in
rewatch
and
that
you were
episode
dead
and
on
EFAP it together.
everything.
We
It was
should
good.
actually. I like that idea, Chrissy.
I've been meaning
Let
to
me know
do
when
it.
you
I
wanna
just
do
like
it.
something about doing it by myself is less fun, but I think if we do it together, it'll be more fun for me.
Oh, I would love that. We should.
It was good.
Thank you, Carmen.
Yeah, no, it
Is that your
was
name,
fun.
Carmen?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna head off. Thank you so much for having me as per usual. I hope your YouTube stuff gets resolved, Chrissy. And if you guys want to see the video I'm working on, I'm sure a lot of you will be interested in the topic when you find out. It's on
When does
my
it
YouTube
come
channel.
out? Tomorrow?
Sometime this upcoming week, probably toward the
Okay.
end of the week. It's going to take a few
Cool.
more days of research and writing. But have a good night, everyone.
Bye,
Venti.
Ciao, ciao.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Venti always leaves us wanting more.
She doesn't seem to suffer fools gladly.
No.
she seems to always like. I only learned of her like a year or so ago because Chrissy had her on Wet Spot. But she seems to be a bit of a magnet online. Like people are always gunning for her, and then you see her responses, and she comes out guns blazing.
People used to think, oh, she has a problem with anybody who's, you know, an adult film star. Like, yes, she is anti-porn, but she gets along with like Zia, whatever, Amie, Gigi Dior. It's more like if you're somebody who does OnlyFans or sells nude photos or nude content, but you then balk at being called a sex worker, that's what she has a problem with, when people don't really like acknowledge what it is they're doing, or if they're like pretending to be something they're not. Then she'll be like, but wait, you know,
That's cool. I
she just
didn't
kinda
realize
called
that.
it
That's
out.
kind of how I am. So that's good to know.
Wait, do you do OnlyFans, Amie?
No.
Oh.
Her reaction
Let's
was
shout
like,
it out.
nice.
Let's promote it.
No, I mean to not liking porn, but I can talk to people who do it. That's what I mean. Like I get.
That's me
awesome.
too.
You don't judge
Yeah.
people.
I mean,
Hate
I
the
could,
game,
yeah, I could
not the
totally,
player.
I could totally talk to somebody.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's also pretty cool that you have Melonie involved in a lot of your stuff. I knew her from Twitch, and then all of a sudden she started showing up on Chrissy's podcasts and everything.
Chrissy's so cool.
Yeah.
She takes us canceled people and adopts us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the island of
my
misfit
cancel-
toys. Yeah.
My
Yes!
concubine.
Right.
Okay, let's blow through a couple of these super chats. Joseph Crabtree, thanks for super chat. Good evening to all the SimpCast ladies, and especially the beautiful Melonie Mack.
Ooh.
And he
Thank you.
spelled it right. He's serious.
From Viking, thanks for the super chat. Does Simpberry pie taste like fish? Oh, probably.
Maybe a little bit.
David Chandler, thanks for the pity. Is Ant keeping the super chats? I mean,
Absolutely, we are. Yes. Pizza party on Tuesday for the 1000th episode of In Hot Water.
Woohoo!
Mel,
I like
did
Jameson on my pizza. Anyway,
This is
Is
from
it-
Tomb Raider 2. There are monks, and you have the option to, like, if you kill the monks, and they're all gonna fight you the rest of the game, and if you don't, then they won't leave you alone. My first playthrough, I did shoot the monks, and they gunned for me the rest of the time. But I learned
More monks.
later, oh, you don't
More
have to kill
peaceful.
them.
Sounds like fun. I can't believe it's not butter. Mel, when are you going to stream on Twitch again? Oh, it's you. That's your face.
Yep.
I didn't even get that.
I mean, I have a lot of stuff that I'm handling right now with like the stalker situation and all that I can't really talk about. So I'm not gonna be on schedule for a bit. But whenever I can, just stay tuned. I can't really talk about it.
We're streaming on Twitch right now. Come on. Mark of Reality. I saw Brittany stream earlier and was wondering about Melonie Mac's feelings about poser salad people.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Poser salad people. That sounds like it must have been some
People who eat
inside
salad?
joke about Brittany's. Like she must have clipped something about.
Is it like
poser
lizard
salad
people but with salad?
Yeah, like we just call Democrats salad people. Okay, solid. Melonie, I slipped my fourth note into your gym bag. Oh no.
Timing.
Timing. Leapshin. Don't forget to look at Leapshin photography and like on the lovely pics. Also me on the right. Cool. Thanks, Leapshin. James Sharp, work from home a red flag. He may be bored drinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he hates his freaking job.
We had this guy Carl that did our show every other Monday, and it was brilliant because he worked from home and he would send out automated emails at like 2:30, 3:30, and 4. But he was actually on our show until somebody that he worked with was bragging that they saw him on the Cumia network and got him in trouble. I thought of that from
Ooh.
working at home. What a waste of
Corn
time.
Dip.
Sorry.
Thank you, Corn Diff. Just
He
a man
interviewed
of a
Opie
few-
the other day.
Really? I gotta watch that.
Or vice versa. He was definitely sharing a screen with Opie. It was 8 minutes
How
of
anyone's
surrealism.
Able to penetrate into Opie's world. I give him a
Yeah,
lot of
it was
credit.
bizarre to watch, but I love that corn thing.
He might be the guy that's responsible for like a redemption arc for Opie. He made him seem very.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Have you guys been
Like-
following? Oh, sorry, Geno. Finish.
No, I was just, that's exactly what I thought, Erock. And like, I thought it was, but it's crazy to say, wow, I'll tell you, that corn is the Jane Lipton of interviewers, but that potato is more like a pro wrestler. So I didn't, but I couldn't agree more. I'm like, this corn is making Opie seem like just a regular guy.
From Push-Ups, Geno, I'm bringing bacon to Chrissy's 325 show to prove I'm not Jewish.
Me, Keanu, love bacon. You got it, push-ups. I'll bring some whiskey to go with it.
I think it's funny the idea they have to prove. Ghost Crusaders, NAC also helps if you got the coof and can help prevent Alzheimer's. Sounds like just a good overall.
Joe Biden needs some then.
What the hell was that? Like that? I've been seeing memes everywhere of him like hunched over. What did he trip again? I don't know the context of that.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
him.
Nobody seems to know what the context of that was. I saw that.
He walks
always
like he's
falling.
wearing some sort of lift or brace or
Yeah.
something. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Raider, thanks for the 20. Switch your diet to carnivore to curb drinking. I haven't had a drink since I changed. Owe it all to Melonie. Thank you.
Oh, good
Wow, look at
job,
that.
Raider. Good job.
Kiss
Living
ass.
lives.
Kiss ass,
Yeah.
sober jerk.
I heard Fed boys are going after 1,000 more J6 peaceful protesters. Stay safe, Chrissy. Yeah. Well, I will be in on Tuesday, but I will resist the temptation to protest. Ghost Crusaders. Stuttering John should start a podcast with Chad Zumak and they will make bank from Super Chat.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know. Maybe. Bab Bubbler. Donation for Geno's Naltrexone. Naltrexone?
What is now?
Check
One,
that.
thank you. Two,
Yeah.
what is that?
It's
What
actually
is
a
it?
new. I don't know that much about it, but I had a doctor talking about it on my show. And it's having groundbreaking
For
effects
alcohol.
on things like all kinds of things. It's wild because she's working with someone I know on their cancer, and I don't. It has something to do with like your body's natural ability to build its immune system and stem cells and things like that.
Wow. Now
That's
Trek
smart.
Zone. All right. Well, thanks for the
Have you
$2 then. I'll get on it.
Have you guys been following everyone was kind of, it was a big to do about Project Veritas, that they kind of set up James O'Keefe. He was ousted from his own company. Everyone was kind of unfollowing Project Veritas, but now James O'Keefe has started his own media group. I feel like I don't know. I don't hear anybody really talking about Project Veritas in the last few weeks since this happened, because I feel like they really did him dirty. And
Yeah.
he is everyone has, agrees that he was Project Veritas. He was the poster boy. He was the face of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it just sounded very sketchy, the reasons for which they booted him out. But now we have the O'Keefe Media Group. He says new media group will decentralize journalism after Project Veritas split. Former Veritas CEO James O'Keefe sat down with Ben Shapiro on this week's episode of the Sunday Special, discussing how Brett Cooper, that's Jen Shapiro, discussing how he plans on outsourcing undercover operatives equipped with hidden cameras in order to decentralize journalism. Yeah, I mean, I think the Project Veritas mode of journalism has worked really, really well for them. Just get everyone a little body cam. What I'm trying to do is get information into the hands of the citizens so that they make the best decisions to elect the right representatives, O'Keefe said. I actually believe that if people had any idea what was actually going on in the three-letter agencies and the schools, then they would be rightfully outraged. O'Keefe announced his resignation from Project Veritas after a conflict with the board of directors from the investigative journalism group he founded over 10 years ago. Weeks after the company ousted the guerrilla journalist, he launched O'Keefe Media Group, a new business venture promising to be surrounded by the most elite journalists in the world, and hopefully all his hot undercover girls that I think I hope his squadron of babes followed him, because we can't have any whistleblowers without okay. His ouster from the company came after a group broke a story in which Pfizer's director of research and development admitted the pharmaceutical company things that we all know that we can't say. Project Veritas board of directors said they wanted to fix things with O'Keefe, but they wouldn't have contact with them after the incident. Basically, it's important for me to continue my mission. Basically, he wants to get cameras into the hands of thousands of people to help everyone be a journalist. I mean, don't we already have cameras?
Yeah,
Everyone has
yeah.
an iPhone.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Right.
But little cameras.
They're not hidden.
But we're not enlisted. You know, if he enlists people, you see, I think that's different.
James O'Keefe, buy us all little black dresses and tiny little body cameras.
I'll do it.
Well, isn't the best that the last one he did, the guy was, and who cares, but it was a gay guy, so he probably had a really good looking dude.
I asked
gay
about that,
aspect
and
to
they
it.
said he was gorgeous. Somebody saw him. I don't know who it was.
Really?
They said
See,
he
that's
Had to
what I
be.
want to see. I want
You
to
were
turn
right.
the camera
I was thinking
around
the
and
same
be like,
thing, Geno.
Yeah,
Who are these
to get
people
that
filling their
mulatto
butts
to
to?
flip like that, that had to be a
Yeah.
gorgeous mandingo.
He has a style of journalism that critics have called deceptive. Now, do you think his methods are deceptive? Do you think that having hidden cameras is a good idea, or it promotes, I don't know, sneakiness, and it'll get to a point where nobody can trust anybody? I mean, I felt we were already at that point, but everyone watched that video. That guy was spilling his guts. That's how you know that guy had to be hot.
I think you
Because-
have to be sneaky to get the truth now. You have to be sneaky first to get the truth now. I mean,
Well, I mean, I think it everything from day one of this wonderful 2 years we've had, it all goes back to common sense. And when they said follow that, that sciencey thing, it's like, no, it's impossible. It's all stats and data and ridiculousness when everything else is common sense. So circling back, when you watch this guy talk, like, you can tell when people are lying, Chad. You can tell when people aren't being honest. They're really overselling it. They're repeat. And the story changes every time. He's like, well, what do you mean? And he would just reiterate what he was saying in a more, so that's why you're gonna let me be the bottom tonight. He was really trying to sell his point, but he didn't want to look like a liar because he wanted to fucking woo this dude. So that's how I looked at it. And it's all common sense. So I don't think it's sneaky. I think it's who's ever watching it needs to decide for themselves. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chris.
And when you're bonding is when you overshare. So
Right.
Yeah, they're always drinking too. Or usually.
oh yeah.
Hey,
That's
that's the last shot at me, people. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm awful.
Sorry, Gino.
God, motherless.
Erock, do you think this is unscrupulous?
No, I mean, it's what he did is no different than what a lot of other journalistic outlets would do. I just don't think that Project Veritas gets fully covered under like freedom of the press / First Amendment stuff with this, because they're not known as being a journalistic. They can say there are, people think they are, but I think in the whole scheme of things involving the law, they're not considered like CBS or NBC News or CNN or something like that. So the fact that they ousted him, I think that was to prevent a really damaging lawsuit from Pfizer, which has deep pockets. Unless you're the government, you're not going to go after a pharmaceutical company and even win, because they'll just outspend you and drag it on or do whatever. And they can't do that, as much as people think that, they're in the right, or they don't have those kind of pockets to pull revenue from to fight that. So if Pfizer's going to say, hey, look, we're going to slap like a $500 million lawsuit on you, and we'll stretch this out for however long we see fit until you do something about this. So he had to go. He was the guy involved in the story. I don't think they get that kind of coverage.
Well, and there was that one guy that did it with Project. It was Parenthood.
Erock Rose.
Oh, there he is.
Planned Parenthood. The guy that went into Planned
The last
Parenthood.
thing I heard was coverage, Erock.
Yeah.
I think that was the last.
I just said they don't get that kind of coverage in a court of law with the First Amendment. I think that's why they had to cave and oust him.
Interesting. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's not To Catch a Predator yet. What was that guy's name? What's
Chris
To Catch a
Hansen.
Predator?
Chris,
Yeah.
I missed that show.
Yes.
Can you imagine if that show was on the air now?
We had him on Anthony's show not too long ago. He comes on every now and then. He's in Midtown and stuff. He said, yeah, there's no way anybody would legally back that show a network anymore, because now there's too many loopholes on being sued for the stupidest things. So they can't even, under the guise of journalism, that didn't really fall there. That was more of an expose entertainment / thing. It's why the NBC let it go. Like, they just couldn't deal with the potential lawsuits and the legalities of it. So these are great shows and great things that are being done, but if you don't have that kind of backing, nobody's going to take a chance in supporting a lot of this stuff anymore.
Right.
But can't you
get arrested for something with an underage? Am I wrong?
What,
Didn't
the
he get
host?
arrested?
No. I think he, if I'm remembering correctly, he might have allegedly had, like relations with somebody, but it wasn't anything to the sense of underage or illegal. It just might have been.
Oh no.
Poor Erik.
He's just the most focused man in the biz. Hey, welcome, Erock. Let me ask you this, circling back to the fucking Veritas thing. But I mean, wouldn't you? And I know nothing, but wouldn't you want to get sued, because that would really bring it out into the open? And I know it's deep pockets and stuff, but I mean, you would at least want it to go to. I'm guessing, like, if you're right, it kind of makes Veritas look like it's bullshit, because if you're right, you're like, all right, take me to court. Right. And but you're saying no. Like, I would think, but I don't fucking know.
Because I understand what you're saying. You're right, but people just don't have that money or want to take that chance to go against it. Like, no company is going to even defend an employee. Like, when we were in radio, we used to have the company backing us up. If somebody tried to file something with the FCC or a lawsuit saying they didn't like what we said, or whatever, was it breaking the law technically? No. So a company used to stand behind its host because it was generating money and ratings and what have you. Now it doesn't matter what you're generating for them. The second somebody threatens anything on you, oh, well, we can't deal with the social media outrage, fired, go away, hose it down, bring in somebody new that's going to be vanilla and bland, and we won't hear any kind of complaints about that person.
Erock, do you think that Anthony was like the first big example of what you're talking about here? Like,
no. Imus was for his contact. He was obviously making a joke. He was it's an old doddering fool who did it wrong, but got way too much of a blowback for what he did, and people were capitalizing on that, like Sharpton and his Action Network jumping on top of this thing. But yeah, Imus was probably Howard, back in the day would just get FCC fines. You'd get religious nuts and the parents television council, that made up organization, all that would just file FCC complaints, and then the FCC eventually had to do something. But that was it. You were going through a government body that would find the company that had a public broadcast license, and it was just paperwork pretty much, and cutting a check and then going away. Now they don't want to see a hashtag trending on Twitter. Like, that's almost a death knell for your existence in a company anymore. It's like, you're trending, but for the wrong reason. People are outraged. This guy in Minnesota can't handle it, or this family in Iowa is going crazy. And it's like, all right, well, we added up. That's 200 people complaining. That's it. That's oh no, we got to get rid of you. And that it doesn't matter what company. It's not even entertainment and broadcast anymore.
Yeah.
You can work at an insurance company, pharmaceutical company, anything now. The slightest thing online, and companies freak out because they just won't deal with it anymore. So you're fucked no matter what.
Yeah.
Tuggs has to bounce. She has to get her cozy ass to bed. No, I don't have a creative outro for you.
Yeah.
Tuggs, what's coming up? I know you got Poor Choices this week. Your show with X-Ray Girl.
Yes, every Wednesday, Poor Choices with X-Ray Girl, who I know everybody here loves her. So come and join us over on Wednesdays. It's POUR, like you're pouring wine. Poor Choices. And then April 3rd on my Twitch channel, which Goodnight Mister has been putting in. So thank you on that. I'm doing a charity stream for Games for Love. We're raising money for Games for Love, which brings gaming consoles and things to kids who are terminal with cancer and stuff in hospital.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really cool. It's a really cool charity. So April 3rd on my Twitch channel for that. And
That's a
other
great
than that, thanks for having me on once again.
Thank you, Tuggs.
It's
You're
nice
the
to
best.
meet you.
Pleasure
Yeah,
to meet you,
nice
Tuggs.
And I hope you all have a good night, and I will catch you next time. Bye.
Catch you next time, Tuggs. I like that you matched your eyeshadow to your Snuggie. That's really next
Always
level.
matching. I try my best. Okay, listen, we're just doing
Love
it.
you,
Okay?
Tuggs.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Erock, do you see any end in sight for this? Like, do you ever think we'll get to a point where radio jobs or even corporate jobs will kind of back off if someone gets a little bit of heat on social media? Do you think that'll ever get to a point where we're kind of like, all right, it doesn't mean as much anymore. Everyone calm down. Everyone can keep their jobs.
It's going to take a little while still. And look, we got an election year coming up. And even though that's technically 2024, and then you go into office in 25, whoever it's going to be, it's starting earlier and earlier, like Christmas sales, So now everything that was
Black
going
Friday.
on. Yeah. When Trump went out to East Palestine, right? Smart move on his part to go there, survey, make a presence known that at least somebody was pretending to care and be there. He brought water and supplies and what have you. And people like him, people don't. But that was a calculated move for running for 2024. And then some people will say, oh, no, people will forget about that. No, they won't, because Trump's people, if he gets the nomination or whatever they're going to do, they're going to recycle that footage nonstop in the next year saying Biden didn't show up. Those quick black and white things. Biden didn't show up here with one of the worst ecological disasters in recent American history, but Donald Trump did. And he came, that's what it's all for. So it's going to take a while at least till after the next election. And then it's sort of like high tide, low tide. Like it moved. It was so far conservative stuff. Then it moved so far liberal. Now it's starting to go back again. There is some resistance and a lot of the outrage and what effect social media can actually have on policies or people's jobs, whatever. We still got at least another year or two before we're going to see any kind of middle ground with this. I see it coming because it has to, but we're not quite there yet.
Ugh.
If that makes any sense.
Right, especially if Trump gets arrested, to be like, they arrested me, the political opponent. It's very communist.
Right.
They're also going to lay into the fact that area Palestine is all fucking red, so, and they're going to make the blue look like villains. Not that they don't do that both ways, but yeah, it's like they're not going to come for you. You didn't vote for them. They're not getting your vote, even if they come. it's insane what's going on. It's just hard to watch that people just, I don't know. I have no point here. Should have cut me off an hour ago.
I'm afraid that the right is going to be screwed again. If I don't know. I feel like they harp on the same points of like, oh, drag queen story hour. We hate. I think they're going to need to expand a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, focus more on the economy. Something that like appeals, that kind of affects everyone. Not like transing your kids doesn't affect everyone.
Get
but I
everybody
think
out
if
of jail. Get some people out of jail. That would help.
Yeah. If you don't live in a
That's
major
something
city, it's
that
like-
everybody would agree on. There's so many people in jail that should not be in jail.
Right.
If we could come together on the criminal injustice system, I think we would really see on the conservative side some serious changes. But
Get
don't
Joe
care.
Exotic out of jail.
Yes, we need a new season. We need more
gosh,
Tiger
that was
King.
the craziest story.
I think part of it too is that in recent years is one of the things the right has developed, a trait that they've developed, which I'm not very fond of, and they take it from the left, is that they're more vocal and they're more outraged. You can be outraged on stuff, but they're more vocal about it. They're telling you ahead of time what they're going to do. The right used to, have problems with whatever the left was doing, but they would come together. You wouldn't know fully what was going on. They would go and all of a sudden legislation would be passed, or this thing was moving forward, or they got this kind of this PAC thing going to fight whatever issue they had. They went and they did it. They didn't telegram it ahead of time to let you know that we're thinking about starting this to then get there, because then you've already cut off your nose to spite your face. All this stuff. If they just would do some stuff and just shut up about, like, there could be outrage like this. We're not going to stand for this. Okay. And then, they don't want to stand for it, but then you don't hear any more about it for a while. Let them go do their stuff and then come back and then say, hey, it's done. You can't
like
fight
Roe
it
v.
now.
Wade, I feel like was sneakily, quietly, like by the time they were talking about it, it was already basically a done
I mean,
deal.
whether you agree with that or not, it doesn't matter. But that's the strategy where you didn't know that was coming, and the left could learn that too. If you just say we have a problem with this, let it be known, and then you're not out there constantly putting videos of crying, screaming, whatever, over emotional exhaustion from this disposable content that everybody puts out.
But then the right gets criticized for not being involved enough in the culture, for not like participating
on TikTok. Who the
You're
fuck cares? Or on Twitter. Like, they're on Twitter too much. Say your stuff. Let the news cover you, not you be the news. Go in that. Say you're saying, it's like, if you're a politician, you stand up there like, I'm against this proposition that's coming up, or this bill, we're not for it, whatever. That's your statement. You have to do that as a public figure, but then go and do it. Get your work done, and then come back after there, and then do your press conference. Say, hey, we worked together, a lot of countless hours and sleepless nights to do all of this stuff, and now here we are. Do that. Stop going online and saying, here's everything. It's like a television schedule when they do the upfronts. Here's everything we have for the fall season. Don't tell anybody. Say
like Marjorie Taylor Greene with her little videos of her trotting down the halls of Congress. It's like
she's a TikTok person. That's exactly what she's doing.
It's just
she's fun to me.
Just state your point, whatever, and then back away. Let everybody else scream and yell while you go and do what you need to do. Then come back and say, "Oh, remember that thing we mentioned like 3 months ago? Okay, here's the piece of paper. Now it is now going to be signed, and it's going on here." And then nobody has enough time to rally their troops and form protests and do all this stuff. When you're telegraphing everything, you're just setting up roadblocks. And again, for the left too, if they did the same thing, you're setting up roadblocks and people to organize. People are better at organizing and coming together now because of social media. So the less you say and the more you do without being in the front of it, the more you're going to get accomplished. And nobody seems to remember this anymore. And the
left are better at that organizing than we are, than the right.
But they scream and yell too. They're constantly screaming and yell, but it works for their side. It does not work doing that and then trying to get something done on a conservative level or leaning to the right. You can't do what they do and expect it to have the same results. So if they're going yelling and screaming and doing all this,
very emotional, which appeals to liberals and Democrats. And
just
so
go
it's like,
low. They're going high and screaming and yelling. You go, okay. Step back, don't say anything. Take the their slings and barbs. Go do your work, come back and go, remember all that shit you were screaming and crying about in the streets for 3 months? Well, guess what? You can't do anything anymore because now the work's done. What do you mean it's done? Yeah, well, we told you we were going to do this, and then we went to work. We didn't sit here and make a TikTok video or constantly trying to trend or whatever. Fuck the trending. Fuck all that stuff. You're in government. Get the work done, and then come out and let the news cover you. Don't be the news.
True.
Like the way
I
our
think
grandpas
AOC,
handle
like,
things. Yeah.
AOC was like led the charge on that, and then maybe the right felt like, oh, we need an answer to AOC.
That's what happened.
Like, she would get attention for attention's sake, not for accomplishing anything.
Totally agree.
No matter what you do, and this isn't a shot of being anti-woman, but a conservative leaning woman in the foreground like that just doesn't work to the extent they think it's going to when they see the left doing it. A lot of these, the group like AOC and her friends on the left, they're great on social media. They're great up front, but their track record for their work and what they get done is horrible. It's terrible. They get nothing accomplished other than being on social media all the time. Do the exact opposite. If you have, some conservative women who people are going to like, their place right now, don't be the forefront on social media where everyone's just going to shit and attack you.
AOC is not there to get things done. She's there to pull young people to the party.
Right.
Like young,
and she's not. It's not
people.
working anymore. She's been there too long now that it doesn't matter. She's not the young, hip person to bring into politics that kids in college and coming out of college are going to want to invest their time into any.
Yeah, that's why they're phasing
politics.
out Greta Thunberg. She's 20 now. We're like, she's not the real kid.
One thing I'm noticing though is
What the hell?
when I'm on TikTok, because I use TikTok, I'm seeing a bunch of clips from like Donald Trump's old speeches and stuff that are circulating on TikTok, and surprisingly, a bunch of young people who were like, "Man, they demonize this guy for no reason. I like this guy. Oh, this is great," And so I don't know. It's just that I think when you see like the climate on Twitter, for example, versus on TikTok, I actually have a lot more hope for the younger generation when I'm on TikTok.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
That's really
like that guy that went
good.
against who was the pale jerk on CNN that they fired. Tapper? No, whoever it was, like a couple like months. Who was the guy that they just fired on CNN?
The potato, Brian Stelter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember he was like doing some talk and they're like, yeah, no, he's the pro wrestler. You're thinking of the James Lipton, but they're pushing back a lot of these young kids, and it's hopeful to see. That's all I'll say. It's hopeful.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, Melonie, because I fucking hate TikTok.
I know most people do, or they think it's.
Yeah, I don't do it.
I'm all for it being banned.
There is a huge conservative, like.
You're banned from TikTok?
I want it to be banned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've gotten
banned
banned like 3 times and then unbanned. So surprisingly, I'm still there.
For on TikTok?
Like
dude,
transphobia.
TikTok can be really, nitpicky.
You know what happened to me? They have bots reporting stuff. People would report nudity in my videos, and there was no nude. Obviously, I'm not showing my tits and stuff.
Yeah.
But they would say it, and they would take it down. They would take it down.
I got banned, and then had to take, and then they took one of my videos down because it had a Bible verse in it that was, because talking against certain things.
To destroy the spider's curse, simply quote a Bible verse.
I know. They wouldn't keep my video up because it had a Bible verse in it that they didn't like.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. My daughter does her daily devotional. She's my youngest. She's 17. Hopefully you can take her down for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that they want you to, if you're going to share Bible verses, it can only be like the good stuff. But if you share stuff that starts to make people feel, and
no conviction, no conviction.
Right, no conviction, and then you're possibly in trouble. Yeah.
No beliefs.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok sponsored by the CPC. Yeah. It's like it's just like some kind of plant. I'm telling you. Is it true what I've heard that like the TikTok in China is like the opposite of the TikTok here where they're getting us to dance?
That's
the
what
design
I hear.
is, and the presentation is completely
it's like
different.
It encourages you to be a better person, to be more intellectual. Art's like, hey, look at this new dance.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, a lot of the TikTok stuff they borrowed from Japanese and Korean culture with the filters for
like
makeup
there's a
and all that
difference.
stuff. And then they said, well, you know what? If we make it cartoonish enough for the Americans with animated, graphics and things scrolling across the screen, because, we all have ADD now. It all has to look like the lower third of the CNBC where it's a ticker tape and everything's moving. They put that on TikTok there. So if you look online, there's screenshots and some videos if they don't get taken down right away. It's very boring. The Chinese version, just like they don't allow Twitter in China, they have their own version that the government. It's very boring. It's very bland. It's like being in an office cubicle with fluorescent lights. That's the whole layout of what the media apps look like in China, and it's so they can control.
A Chinese person goes, "Oh, this is boring. I'm going to go out in the rice paddy field and work."
Right.
I'm gonna go back to making shoes. This sucks.
Go back to my 15-minute city.
Throw my baby on my back and go get some rice. Yeah.
But you know what? We might think we have it hard, but who has it harder right now is Whitney Cummings. Co-creator Whitney Cummings says that comedians have become the enemy. I mean, I agree with that statement. I just don't think Whitney Cummings is part of that group because I think
she's not the fucking enemy. She's the problem. She's the dance monkey dance to the tune of the left.
Whitney Cummings thinks it's a dangerous time to be a comedian in America. I don't have to, not for her. I don't have to. She's doing great. She's got she's got a huge tour. I don't have to tell you, over the past couple of years, comedy has taken quite a hit. The performer tells Page Six in an exclusive interview. It became super obvious that there were some issues in our society, which, it's usually our job to comment on and confront. Oh my God, my blood is already boiling. And all of a sudden, comedians started becoming like the enemy. Cummings explains that previously comedians would tackle sensitive subjects to help everyone cope and laugh at horrible things. And then all of a sudden, for a litany of reasons, people started saying comedians are bullies and they're causing violence. And we're like, wait, what? The Two Broke Girls co-creator finds it ironic that some people are calling out comedians as bullies, and yet comedians have come under physical attack. For example, Chris Rock. They're making this about Chris Rock.
Yeah, this is what she calls an attack. A guy at a national award ceremony where everyone is sucking his COCK dick.
Literally, yes.
He is not being attacked. This would be a great article if there's if they reference someone rushed her on stage, somebody threw a sandwich or a shoe at her, or approached her with a weapon. But this is all happening to other people, and I think she's grandstanding to take credit for this,
and not because she's contact
at the Post. Because she's so good at marketing herself. I literally was in my Pasadena Holiday Inn Express and I looked up. I was watching the pancake machine in front of me squeeze out a pre-portioned amount of batter and smushing it into a pancake. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this is my life. But I was like, I'm also psyched that this is my life. I look up and it's Whitney Cummings on what is it? The Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa show. I'm like, this girl knows how to market herself. She's in with the right representations and she's out there, she's working. But here she comes in. Was Whitney Cummings passionate about all the things we know that people should have been speaking out about during the last couple of years? No, but here she is, and I fully expected this, as did, I'm sure, Geno. Here she comes in, sweeping up, collecting all the credit and goodwill. Well, we're not the enemy. We're just trying to be truth tellers. It's where the fuck were you, Whitney? Were you speaking out about all the mandates, all the things that Geno and I were getting banned and attacked for? She didn't say shit. But here she is in March of 2023, probably pushing a huge tour, but now she's crying. Oh, and of course, her new series, Whitney Cummings Presents, is on OnlyFans TV. So clearly she's promoting this. But here she is, coming in late after the fact when it's totally safe to say all these things.
Right.
Just what's his face on SNL? Yeah. What the hell was his name with the monologue?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, exactly. Right when it's totally safe to have all these hot takes, people come out and they want credit for being edgy. And it's we all remember who was outspoken when
Could you imagine working 18 fucking years to get passed at every club in New York City, and when they said you needed to have some kind of certain medication, you said, I'm not doing it. And then you said, look, I'm going to get a fake proof of this thing. And then you can't, go back into the clubs now because they'll look at you and you'll have to look at them and be like, you were fucking wrong. You're a fucking faggot, and they can't book you anymore. So you're doing LOL while Amy Schumer's like, yeah, arrest me. And this TWAT cuntsicle wants fucking credit when they did nothing. She wasn't on the air giving out fake Antonio Brown cards that may or may not be something else that everyone I sent it to knows. You weren't there. You weren't living it, and you're a fucking and she's like, they're being attacked. I can promise you, I've never done a joke about something that's forbidden here and worried that I was gonna get slapped by Will Smith, you cunt.
Right. It's safe now for her. Yeah, it's safe now. Fuck her. Fuck her.
It was Geno, it was myself, it was Geno's mad. I unmuted you. All right, don't be mad. Don't be mad at me. It was Tyler Fisher, it was Jim Brewer. So it's like, but it's like, I mean, you got to give her credit. She's got a great career. She's crushing it, but it boils my blood to see her being like, oh, comedians are the enemy now. And it's like, you were not putting your ass on the line when it was truly important. Like when your ass could have been canceled.
But that's not even her connection to this. Obviously, she's marrying herself to this story. You're right, for promotion for her OnlyFans comedy special.
Yeah.
But she's an LA comic. A lot of them cater to this liberal left audience mindset group, what have you. Chrissie doesn't fall that, like guys at Gas Digital, Skanks, all you guys that get shit because they don't lean that way or either way. Whatever. But the fact that they're going out preaching like, I'm for these values and I'm with this group, and if they say something that group doesn't like and they get attacked, and it's like, well, then it's the whole comedy community needs to come together. And most of the comedy community just goes, no, go fuck yourself.
Sure,
because
exactly.
it's either you're good or you're not.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It was every man for himself. Honestly, I expected a lot more people to speak up and kind of go on strike against venues that supported the mandate. It was like crickets. And then I realized, you know what, Chrissie, like, it's every man for himself. You don't know everyone's financial situation. And the truth of it is, most comics did not have I don't know if it's about balls or just their financial situation did not allow for them to put their asses on the line. Basically, most comics, most of them are like paycheck to paycheck, gig to gig. Not Whitney Cummings. She's sitting pretty over there.
All right.
But I would also add.
And I came to a place where I was like, you know what? I can't judge people. I have to have grace for these people because a lot of people were not in it. They could not afford to say what they want. Because I have friends that are comedians that tell me in private, I wish I could have put myself out there like that. And I know that they were scared. And I know that they thought they'd lose their representation. They thought they'd lose, which you can say, oh, you're a pussy. Like you know, put your money where your mouth is. Our job.
Isn't the financial thing the balls though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole thing. You might lose your
right. And
but it's also, I would add, and I won't yell this time, but I would add that a lot of comedians and ones that are far more brilliant comedically and far more successful than me are fucking dumb. And they never, I'm not saying they never went to college, like the University of Delaware. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but they never learned to ask questions, and they learned to just
fuck college. Fuck college.
Yeah, I'm not saying you need to go to college, but when I went to college, it was something to do in I graduated in 1990. If you're waiting for another number, you're wrong. 1990 period. But that was back when you needed college. Now you don't need it. But a lot of these kids, like, they just think they're clever and smart because they're successful comedians and they deserve to be successful comedians, but they never learned to ask questions and they never learned to think for themselves. So it's not that they needed the $35 or $50 a spot. They just needed to be like, to do what they were told. And then when you question, they're like, no, this guy said it. And I'm like, well, and they're like, no. And you don't know how many comedians said to me, I didn't know you were a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I didn't know you were an asshole. But that's where it goes. And now that it's 2 years later, it's exactly what you said, Chrissie. It's sort of gone, yeah, it's not safe to be a comedian. Are you nuts? It's great to be a comedian now because we're the only ones that can get away with saying shit like this. You can't say it in politics. You can't say it in Hollywood. It's the best time in the world. I'm done.
Yeah.
And another.
I saw similar behavior in like the gaming streaming space too, because after I got canceled, I had a bunch of other streamers. Well, I lost like almost all of my connections in the gaming industry and other gaming streamers because of it. But then I had some who would private message me and basically say, okay, I can't publicly be your friend, but I support you. I'm just too scared to say these things.
See, that's the coward. That's the part that I literally remember looking at my daughter going, wow, who'd ever thought I was one of the most brave people in America?
Yeah,
it's all
a
about
lot
there's
of
no
that.
bravery. There's no
Right.
They
There's
don't
none.
know,
It's
they
dead.
don't know their own
Dead.
authority.
Dead.
They don't know
And it's
who
like,
they are.
And
I was
the-
in a spot where I was getting my nutrition license because I thought, well, I might not ever be able to pay my bills with this ever again. And I had no idea that things would bounce back for me and that this being canceled would have been like the best thing that could have happened to me. I had no idea at that time. I thought I was losing everything by speaking out. So, yeah, on one hand, it was nice to still have people supporting me even through private message. But then at the same time, it kind of felt bad, too, because it's like, oh, they're telling me that they can't publicly be my friend. Like, that sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see the same thing going on across the board in different industries. I'm going to wrap this up. Hold on. Cummings sees this as a time for comedy to evolve and thinks it's the perfect time to bring roasts back. What? No. The roast trend was like pretty solid for like what, 2 years? I don't know. They really drove that trend into the ground. I don't think that's coming back. In my
it wasn't
opinion,
even a trend. It was a runaway train.
God,
it
here's
went from the roast went from a fun thing.
Here's where Whitney Cummings takes the safest approach possible. In my opinion, this is what the line that negates this whole article for me. In my opinion, they, Roast on Comedy Central, started getting racist, actually homophobic, which she partly blames on the decision to roast non-comedians. See, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be like, it's got to be safe for comedians to joke and then complain that roasts are too racist and homophobic.
Right.
No,
It's
they
like,
weren't. The ones on Comedy Central were never that. They were. The problem was because they stopped doing more comics shitting on other comics or people in the comedy field. They started booking celebrities not just to be roasted, but to be on the dais to roast. And celebrities doing that were getting uncomfortable because Patrice said something, or Jeff Ross made an offhanded remark, or David Spade, anybody on there that was an actual comic doing what you guys do. Well, Jane Lynch wasn't really happy with this. Jane Lynch isn't a fucking comic. She did some comedy shows. She did that Party Down show, but that was about it. Then she was hosting terrible Ellen ripoff game shows and other nonsense. And she was on the Glee show too, the big gay sing-along show. But other than that, like, these were celebrities that were uncomfortable that comics were doing what comics were doing on a format built by comics. So when Comedy Central was just making, we need more celebrities, celebrities didn't want to do it anymore. So then it's becoming a problem. No, it was just because you ruined it with fucking celebrities.
right. Comedians are too niche for the average audience. So they're like, oh, let's broaden it out and bring celebrities in to get more eyeballs on it. But then you
If
compromise.
they're being roasted, yes. On the dais, no. Like the Chevy Chase roast is brilliant. It's a lot of fun. People are it's not like Chevy didn't deserve it. Chevy is a known asshole. The fact that every comic was burying him, and then he came up in this kind of beyond humbled, almost hurt feelings kind of way, and then having to give his retort to whatever, that's what it should have been. When you watch the old Dean Martin roasts and stuff, the shit that they're putting out on the infomercials and the DVDs and all that is edited. The original versions, if you find the scraps online where, like, Lucille Ball is dropping, the cunt word and all this other shit going on, you're like, this is what it's supposed to be.
I love it.
Yeah. And the other thing is they liked each other. A lot of these, even worse than the roast was the roast battles that went from comics that knew each other and were roasting each other to, let's get a celebrity judge to see what they say to boost ratings and tell the comedians who've worked their whole lives to be this funny that they stink. So the crowd will be like, yeah, they stink. They ruined everything. And this bitch is at the forefront of it saying like, yeah, we got to bring it back. Shut up.
Those old roasts, Don Rickles, hilarious throughout his entire career. You think he would have been allowed to do any of the stuff that he did if Sinatra actually had a problem with him, if Johnny Carson, who pretty much made everybody's career for 30 years in Hollywood, didn't like Rickles shitting on him on his own show or on these roasts or whatever. No, these comics were all friends or loved comedy, liked it to be what it was. They wanted to be part of this Friars Club because it was a lot of fun. Now it's, here's another genre that we can hire celebrities to do, because we have them doing radio, we have them doing talk shows, we have them doing podcasts. Celebrities are great for everything. And then you wonder why, after a little while, everything fucking tanks, because celebrities don't want to work. Celebrities don't have a sense of humor. Celebrities just don't want to have fun with anything.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I'm not bitter, iHeart.
No, it's you deserve to be.
Me
Pam
neither.
Anderson being on a roast is like verbal MMA. She noted, nonetheless, the veteran stand-up comic has no issue with the show being streamed through OnlyFans. My thing is always follow the sex workers, she said. That's what comedians have always done. We've always been hand in hand with sex workers. Stand-up in America really started in strip clubs, and comics are kind of emotional sex workers. Whitney Cummings Presents will stream on OnlyFans TV. And this whole article is one big ad for her new special. So Whitney Cummings is going to pretend that she was a beacon of free speech this whole time, right when it's convenient, and you don't have to risk losing anything. How
Can we just
convenient.
say prostitute or whore? And are we allowed, or we have to say sex worker now? I mean, come on. Now.
We have to say sex worker. No, I like.
And it's an
I like
STI now, right? Infection, not an STD. You got to change the language.
Yeah, STD sounds so permanent.
Exactly. You should be afraid of an STD. You should be afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. I'm so mad, but at the same time, like I did expect this to happen, and it's whoever has the best publicist wins, basically. Like.
Yeah, pretty much.
CRTD. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Erock, do you have any idea where intern David from the Opie and Anthony show is? He was radio gold. Make the intern David and Bobo show happen.
The show's been dead 10 years. Get over it. He works at the 9/11 museum downtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you think he never forgets to show up for work?
I have no idea. No idea.
I bet he doesn't.
Wow. Nothing, Erock?
He wears the
Okay.
shirt that says never forget.
Uncle
Yeah.
Erock. Uncle Jack. Geno only lies to his liver. Just one more, buddy. I promise. Chad lies to himself and everyone. Hashtag Geno rules. Yes, he does.
This guy gets it.
Dev Copper, thanks for the super sticker. Push-ups. TR3 in Last Revelation in the mail. Heard they're
Ooh,
tough.
That's Tomb Raider. Yeah, those are the two most difficult Tomb Raider games. Now like if you're playing on actual console, then Tomb Raider 3 is going to be the tougher one for you. But if you're playing on PC, then it'll probably be Last Revelation, just because of like
Ooh.
save. They're slightly different in how the save crystals work.
Is that your favorite game right now?
Well, I mean, Tomb Raider is always my favorite, but like good old classic Tomb Raider, yeah, that's always gonna be my favorite.
Push-ups. Venti is the only person I've ever heard liking AOD.
That's Angel
is
of
that-
Darkness. That's Tomb Raider as well. There's actually a niche of Angel of Darkness fans, and they are dedicated, even though it's like widely known as like the most glitchiest and technically worst Tomb Raider game. But yeah, they do have a nice cult fan base.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, push-ups. Bubbler. Geno looks great for a 62-year-old that wears a babushka.
At least they rounded down from 90 and 74. By the way, I want all $5 Bubbler sent me, you fucking broads.
Zato, the voice we need. Erik Nagel. Bruv, I got your back. See, Erock, you
Very
have so
kind
many
of you.
fans in the chat.
Yeah, the one. That's great. Thank you.
You have this guy. Push-ups.
Go on, rub it in my face. You got one.
Proverbs 31:26. I mean, how is she going to know what that is offhand?
I know, like Proverbs 31 talks about like they say like the Proverbs 31 woman as like a great example of a good inspiration for like the
noble
type of
character.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Like
So,
what?
yeah.
Do it even if you're not in the mood. That sort of thing.
Yes.
That one's not listed.
That's applied
That
to
one's not
men and
listed.
women though. Like it's a sin to withhold from your partner in general,
There you
whether
go.
you're a man or a woman. Yeah.
Both
Wifely
ways.
I mean,
duties.
obviously, there's going to be some exceptions. Like, okay, are you sick? Or
Are you
you
unconscious?
just have that
Yeah.
one day. But in general, as a general rule.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I like that. Andrew Rapp, I would love to see a comedy special TV show starring Chrissie Mayr, Andrew Stein, and Tyler Fisher just roasting on a bunch of liberal things going on. That sounds fun.
Nice.
Sorry, I meant Alex Stein. I like that you corrected Alex Stein, but not the fact that you spelled my name wrong twice. That's fine. It's only scrolling below.
Andrew, you're great.
We love you. Viking, Clam Radio.
Clam Radio. It's legendary.
Can you explain
We'll be saying
the
that
Clam
on
Radio
Tuesday.
joke? I know it's
we did
very old.
We did an episode about a month ago, and I fucking have this, like, my verbal crutch. Apparently, I say watch this a lot. Like whenever, because it's a free for all on In Hot Water, and whenever I want to change gears, I say, okay, watch this. And a super fan, Marshall Beaupre, the fans know him. One time he texted me, he's like, we should put a shock collar on you for every time you say this. And I'm like, I'm not, and I'm like, like, no, I'm not doing that. I would do that to Bobo. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm the only one who can do this. It's like, because my show, God forgive me, our show, because you know how much Garrett and Steve and whoever I have drop by is a part of it. I said the only way this will work is if I do it, because I'm the one that says it, and I don't want to I'm not some kind of fucking Jocktober where I fucking make fun of other people. In fact, we're very proud of the fact we let Frankie fuck with us. So I wore the shock collar, and I had a couple drinks because I'm like, I've got to have a couple in me if I'm going to do this. But the thing is, I had a couple in me to start, and then I kept drinking. And at the end, I just tried to say to Frankie McDonald, he was doing ham radio, and someone made a picture of him talking into a clam. And if you're still with the story, I tried to say, Frank, are you on clam radio? But I was so hammered, like in the last 5 minutes of the show, and so half shocked up, it came out clam radio. I can't even say it wrong on purpose, but suffice to say, people captured the clip, and I have 3 different fans as of now that I know that use it as a fucking phone ring or a text alert.
That's awesome.
I like
But yeah, there was a lot of booze flowing on
Sounds like a
clam
sex
radio.
move.
It's
Yeah.
the old
Like a sex
clam radio
position.
move, and it's going to be a T-shirt soon on the merch store, so we're pretty pumped about it.
Clam Radio, and just put your ear up to a snatch.
Like an old con show.
There you
And
go.
then you tune the
Yeah.
dials.
Reminds me of Clash Radio. This is Radio Clash. Yeah.
Amie, if people are not familiar with your content, what can they expect? I feel like I've done a poor job of introducing you to.
Oh, it's all right. An
your
absolute
audience.
shit show. They can't expect anything. So lots of F-bombs, C-bombs, and cooking videos in 1940s aprons. That's pretty much me.
Ooh, yes.
But apparently no
Trad
tits.
life?
Apparently no tits.
No, I'm very modest. I mean, with my body. Language, not so much.
Not shy. Not shy.
Got to leave something to the imagination. You know what I mean?
Oh, I wanted to bring this up before. This is funny because I always like when Frank is misunderstood by Twitter.
There's some boobs.
So he
There's boobs.
posted this. For those of you that are unfamiliar, I'm just gonna play this, and then I'll try to pause it at the right time to see if you guys can guess like what's coming. Okay, I've set this up poorly. I'm just gonna play it.
I'll put my glasses on.
C-O-M-I-N-G.
You all aware of the trauma that us women have to encounter every time we want to work out. I'm at the gym working out, and this total dog keeps staring at me. I mean, everything I do, he's like locked onto my every move. In fact, I was tossing this medicine ball, and he kept going and getting it for me and bringing it back. And I'm like, I don't need you to help. And then I look over again, and he has his tongue out. He's panting.
Okay, it's like pretty obvious, like what's being set up there, right?
My
Okay.
direction.
Yeah.
And salivating.
It's
So,
funny though.
Anyway, I'm gonna
It is funny.
Dude, why do you keep staring at me?
Oh,
I see you looking.
Come
in my
on.
direction.
God.
Oh, I'm boring you now? When you're really just gonna lay there and act like you're not looking at me every time I get up.
You're a good boy.
This is what we have to deal with. This is what us women have to deal with at the gym.
I love this.
That was
So
funny.
Frank
That was
retweets
super
this, and everyone's misunderstanding him, which is cracking me up. Okay, I'm being harassed at the gym. Videos have really gone too far. I get that some guys just want to get a bone, but this one actually seems a bit far-fetched. TVH, I actually think she's
That's
a bitch.
funny.
And then
The
people are
buttons.
coming after Frank for this. They're like, you don't
People on the
understand.
internet
They
just
didn't
don't
watch it?
like.
They
It's just like what the crap. They do not
Snoopy.
get humor at all.
Like
This is the
Even
same
Megan
thing as
Fox
they
is
don't
not
read.
Detect a joke unless you spell it out. By the way, guys, this was a joke. It's crazy.
She's like, I know it's
Sometimes
about a
people
dog.
respond and don't even watch the video.
She's
They just
joking,
look at
Frank.
it.
It's a parody. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
and
no one
this
reads
is
past
winning
the
that.
headline.
Like, how do
Yeah,
they
exactly.
not see all those puns he
down.
used? How does that all go over their head?
I don't like her
Yeah.
just
Oh
for
my.
doing that video. It has nothing to do with her being harassed. It's just I don't enjoy this now. This
don't
was
like
mi-
the. You don't
I
like
was
the bobs,
misled.
Erock?
Yeah. This is not what I was expecting, and I will not tolerate it.
I need to bring back. We need to bring back more dog humor. But yeah, people got. It's funny. People got very upset at Frank today.
Wow.
What
that
are they
just
not
does
upset
not
at him?
surprise me.
Yeah.
Thin skin, I swear it's the #1 problem in America. That
People are still
validate
very
themselves.
triggered at my InfoWars tweet where I'm on the desk at InfoWars and I'm like, my stripper name is Sandy Hook. Like, people are not over it yet. That was 7 months ago. I'm still getting tagged on it.
Yeah, people are just constantly looking for something.
Oh, Chrissy's making fun of dead kids. It's like, I'm actually not. I didn't mention dead kids at all. Because if I wanted to mention dead kids, I would say, look at these dead kids that are fake. I'm just kidding. JK. Nick Farrell. I had a baby this year. Thanks, Gavin. Geno is gay. Wow.
Thank you, buddy.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Gavin related, people were sending over to Compound. There was some kind of interview compilation from one of those porn expos or whatever, and your super #1 fan Michael Gavin is in like almost all. Yeah, he's in all the
No way.
compilations. Yeah, it's really creepy.
Is it on Twitter? Is it something I can show?
Let me see if I can find the link. I'll send it over
Okay.
to you. But yeah, so somebody sent it over to Compound on I think on Friday, and every time they were doing these interviews, the cut, every other cut was just Michael saying the dumbest shit, like the most creepy Michael-ish kind of things.
Yeah. It's bad. You don't want to be seen at every one of these conventions. Like, if you want to go to like one a year, okay, but don't go to XBiz and AVN and Exotica.
Those are his
Like that
vacations,
other
I
kid
guess.
you have on the wet spot all the
Oh
time.
my God, Ian, don't
What's
even.
I always forget his name. Who is it? I'm
Ian
sorry.
Marshall. Ian Marshall.
Wow.
All right, how
What
can I
a
describe Ian Marshall in a nutshell?
Frightening.
I mean, a lot of our super fans are people who clearly like live in Manhattan or they live close by because they live with their parents. They're just people with nothing to do, a lot of time on their hands. So Ian lives at home still. Like, clearly he probably, his parents have money because they live in Manhattan, but he lies to his mother about where he is, and he comes and he'll only show up to watch if I have an adult film star on. He won't say hi. He won't be like a good, gracious guest where he'll like, our frequent guests sometimes bring some Trulies. They bring anything, something. Like, they don't show up empty-handed. Like, I'm old school that way. Like, just bring something.
It's like going to
once in
somebody's
a
house. You
while.
bring an Entenmann coffee cake.
Yes,
You know.
like, you're here literally.
Now I
there's
want
gonna
an
be
Entenmann,
nudity,
you asshole.
There's gonna be wild stuff happening. Like,
Really
just
do.
I'm just basically saying, bring me Trulies. No, not for me. Just in general, like cookies, whatever. So he constantly shows up empty-handed. He rarely says hello. He just beelines, and I go up. Sure enough, like, if I have a lineup with like a lot of girls, I'm like, I know Ian's here. He'll blow in, and actually, the last time he was here, the girl that he was here to see, I think it was Holly Hendricks. She was running late, so I saw Ian literally grabbing his coat to leave because he thought Holly was going to be a no-show. We all thought she was going to be a no-show. And I said, Ian, get your ass back here. I see you sneaking out, you shallow a-hole. Like, I was going off on him. And he's like, okay. Because very autistic, like most of my biggest fans are. So I try not to I try to be gentle and kind, but I'm also really pissed that he's leaving because there's no adult film stars going to come on. I'm like, you have to stay and watch this show. He's like, oh, okay. And then sure enough, Holly blows in late. No pun intended. She comes in and
Slight
then
pun intended.
one thing led to another, and he ended up getting to eat her ass. And you know what? That wouldn't have happened without me, and this guy at the end, he's like, no eye contact. But he's like, thanks. He's pissing me off because, and then he'll hang and he creeps the girls out, which now I've gotten better at tard wrangling him. I'll be like, no, go back to your seat. Go back. That's quite enough.
Wait, at what wrangling him?
Tard wrangling.
I've never heard that before.
What? Are you kidding me? I say that 100 times a day.
No.
You've never heard
That
the
is
term tard wrangling?
I haven't
No.
either, but that's hilarious.
I want to know.
I feel like people say it behind my back a lot. I feel like it's being said behind my back.
I'm like
I
picturing
think.
Chrissy as a
No.
sheepdog just running
that a
around
Long
the
Island
field.
thing?
Those of us who have
Tard
never
wrangler.
heard the term tard wrangling, we are the ones being tard wrangled.
Because there's no appreciation from him, and I know that's due to autism, but I just don't he'll sort of linger
The
before
autism,
it's
okay, I
Sullivan's,
get it.
and then as soon as we're done, he beelines to the girl, and he goes, oh, do you want to see my nudes? And he's just like, because he's thinking that he's about to get scouted for a twink role. He'll go to these 3-ways and these events and stuff. He thinks he looks amazing.
That all sounds exhausting, by the way.
Yeah.
I wish he
too
had
much
a fraction
to
of the confidence that this kid has. He has a very below average body. He's never seen the inside of a gym. He's like this beanpole. He looks like a wax bean with glasses.
He's
That's his body.
pasty and
he's constantly anything to take his dick out. He's someone that it could be very easy to take advantage of the poor kid because he's very gullible. He's anything for attention, anything to get famous or get casting couched or whatever.
One of those.
Yeah, he's constantly showing girls nude photos. Oh, look at me! Oh, if you ever need somebody, and it's no, you are never.
I've never gotten a dick pic. Have you guys all gotten dick pics? Without
I'll send you
unsolicited
some of
dick pics?
mine.
I sent one to Barry Miles.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell his mother where he's going. He'll tell her that he's at a book club, he's seeing a movie. He's running out of excuses and he's running out of books.
He's running out of books. Is he the one from one of your first ever episodes or early episodes? Was he the one that's in the credits that gets wrapped in cellophane?
No, that was a different guy. That is when
what a relief.
Dahlia Rain brought in a sub and he was like, it's okay, you can step on my balls. I was like, I cannot do that. There's something deep inside me that will not allow me to step on balls. And then the girl walks over and she starts just pushing her high heel into the back. I was like, oh no. I'm like, there's babies in there. Be careful.
Oh my.
That was a while ago. We haven't had anything that crazy in a while. I mean, except for the ass eating. But
so he ate ass. I mean, you say he ate ass.
He did.
When you just said that, I
was trying to set up
say that correctly?
my friend Cecil for that because Cecil was sitting next to him and Ian was just in the studio audience and Cecil balked. Cecil was like, I don't know. She's like, you can eat my ass to Cecil. And then he's like, I'll do it. And he hand up and he was halfway across the studio before anybody could blink. I was like, man, this kid moves fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, you owe me, Ian. I know you'll never watch this, but
like the alien in the first one.
Oh yeah, Nick Farrell, Geno, F, Mary.
I'm not going to say who I'd K.
Chrissy, Aaron, Frankie.
But obviously, I'd K the X. I'd bang Frankie. he wouldn't tell anyone, and then I'd have to get some common law thing before you and Frank get married, whenever that is. So yeah, there you go. Actually, I might have to marry Frankie.
Oh, better not kill me. All right.
Yeah, I can't. No, we know who gets the K. By the way, tell Cecil if you talk. Tell Cecil to come by Tuesday if you chat with him.
You don't have.
He's a
Cecil's
fun
number?
drink. I don't.
I think I've sent it to you. 100
You know what? I
I'll
probably
send it to
have.
you.
He's probably given it to me before, but we're always drunk at Sullivan's after the wet spot, and we're always doing shots like, "Oh, we gotta hang out more." He's great. He's a fun.
But
He's
I've
a fun
come to,
drunk
like,
too.
I've come to understand Erock's point of view on this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Erock. Like, you just don't, and I see that when I see the occasional. Most of them are very gracious, appreciative, don't overstay, respectful of the girls. But I do see Erock's point when I do get an occasional like creeper, and I used to think that Erock's stance on fans was too harsh. And then and then of course my my wallet got rifled through and I was robbed in the middle
Yeah, how
of
did
a
that?
show.
How did that happen, Gino?
I didn't let her in. I got there after her. But I won't fight the
offered her
narrative.
some drinks.
I will tell you, this is where I certainly fucked up because I got there late and she's sitting on the couch and I'm friendly. You know, I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I'm on the show tonight. And that's where I fucked up because it was, you know, it was like 8:30 back when it started at 8. I'm like, no one fucking, and Chrissie, I should have heard Chrissie in my head saying, yes, so you come on at 8:30. No, that's when I should have said, what? That's where we fucked up. Me being me and the mouse in my pocket.
It was us trying to not make certain associations of certain people of a certain look. We were trying to be bigger than that. But after
Yes,
that instance,
bigger,
now we
she said,
realize
than that.
That we are supposed to judge people. Especially in New
And
York
she
City
turned
during
out to
Crime
be
Week.
she turned out to be the bigger person. Never mind.
She was
quite the
thin.
bigger person.
Say it a few more
It's more
times,
rhyming
you know, maybe
than
it'll land.
They're all on it. Jimmy Carter, fuck you guys.
Anyway, I'm probably scaring the people that are unfamiliar with Compound Media, but
Yeah.
it's a great network. It's fun.
It's fun.
There's Erock's show. There's Geno's show.
did it.
There's Anthony Cumia's show. There's my show on Mondays.
Who's your guest tomorrow, by the way?
Ooh, thank you for the perfect setup. Let's see.
Well, I don't know because she doesn't tell us till 6:50 for social media postings.
And Frankie
When
always
would you
asks
like
me
to
at
know?
3:40.
Would you like to know the day before? Would that be helpful?
Or the morning at least. You know,
Okay.
enough time
All
to
right.
schedule it.
Okay. I got you. Stacey Pressman, Gina Hyena, and James Raniolo will be on tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah. And guess what? Next Monday, Vic Mignogna. Oh, shoot. No, he's going to be in town, but I don't think he's going to stay long enough. I'm trying to get him to push his flight back so he can, like, you know, do the rounds at Compound next Monday because he's in town for some kind of a convention this weekend upcoming.
We love Vic. He was down in he was in Florida, right?
Yeah.
He had the pants malfunction on one of your streams, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I love that guy.
His camera fell
Love that
down
guy.
and he was in his underwear.
Yeah.
Happens
Oh
to the
my
best
Fucking
of us.
great.
Oh yeah, and people let him have it for weeks. They're like, "Oh, he's a sex pest. He's a horrible person." I'm like, "No, he's a boomer."
Seems to
having
happen a lot
boomer
on your
moment."
shows with these pants malfunctions. Him, Gavin, Gino.
Well, that was
My pants are fine.
Nice. There's a difference between a camera falling and seeing
Thank
you in
you,
your underwear versus
You're
you
welcome.
taking your dick out.
I have to watch this show with Gavin doing that. I'm a huge fan, by the way, of Gavin McInnes.
Ooh.
I have to watch this.
You know, I
He knew there
think
were
the
two.
uncensored version may have been scrubbed. Maybe you can find
Okay.
clips somewhere, but I think Gary edited that whole part out and re-uploaded onto YouTube and Rumble. Maybe the OG version is on Rumble, although I have a feeling it's all been edited out. But you
All
can
right.
Are you
probably find
allowed
clips.
nudity on Rumble? I'm still learning about it. Are you
We're
allowed
on
to do
Rumble
nudity
right
on
now.
Rumble?
In fact, I haven't even looked at Rumble this whole time.
Oh, Rumble's killing it. About 2K.
Let me see. Who's on Rumble right now? No Rumble rants. That's all right. We appreciate you guys watching. Rumble. Rumble. Okay. All right. We talked about Whitney Cummings. We talked about this. Okay. This is going to be a topic. The men probably.
Did Whitney Cummings do something? I didn't. No.
No, yes, we covered that. Guys, Black China is solving her facial fillers and she's undergoing butt.
Good for her.
Really?
good.
You think that's a good idea?
Yes, like putting that stuff in your body, that's not good for you.
Right.
Is this before or after?
Yeah, don't put that in your body.
I'm not sure if she's gonna like reveal some naughty bits. No, she's fine.
They're not going to put that on the New York
Taking some of
Post.
these ass shots out. And by the way, ass shots and the BBL is totally different. And I'm gonna tell you why. A BBL
She undoing her BBL?
that ass shots is silicone. So I just want all the ladies out there to know, do not get silicone shots because you can get sick, you can die,
Her nails.
complications, and all this.
How do you
other
take your contacts
crazy
out
stuff.
with those?
I haven't had any crazy complications.
Or do you
since
wipe?
I
How do you
was
wipe your
born.
ass?
I was
You
19
wipe.
years
You literally
old.
have
Gross.
poop in
But
your
now I'm
fingernails
moving
24/7.
here in life. So I want this out of my ass so I can grow.
Oh,
Not
those
to
are so
mention that
frightening.
Yeah.
I'm proud of
You have
her.
shit
for
under her
this.
nails. She has shit under her nails right now. I'm
Right
telling
now.
you.
As we
There's no
speak.
way. No way.
I didn't know you could have these fillers dissolved.
That,
Yeah,
that
I used to
don't
have
you
lip
think
filler.
that-
I got it dissolved. It looked
Really?
terrible. Yeah,
Wow.
Does it hurt?
Did it hurt?
Oh yeah. But I was so glad when I got that dissolved. It's been like 4 or 5 years. But when I look back at pictures now, I'm just like, my gosh, it looked so bad.
Oh.
And it took me looking at pictures before to realize, and I think that's the thing is a lot of people who get fillers, like they don't realize how it looks because I don't know. I think for most people you can tell, and that's how it was on me as well. And yeah, I was so glad I got those dissolved.
Did it hurt to get them
beautiful.
dissolved?
You
Like,
are
what
it
was
hurt a
beautiful. I
it
can
did, but it's
imagine.
worth it. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it hurt, but it was worth it to just get that all out. I just wanted that out of my body. Like, because that's the thing is they tell you, oh, filler will naturally go away after a year or whatever. That's not even true. People are getting x-rays and finding filler in their bodies or face or wherever they got it in there.
No
Years,
idea.
up to like a decade later, it will
Damn.
migrate. It will migrate.
It'll migrate?
Yeah, it just migrates and they keep
Oh.
getting more and more, and then it just looks worse and worse. And
Yeah.
not to mention when you really think about it, putting like foreign substance like that in your body, it just can't be good for you. And I'm just really glad I snapped out of it and had that dissolved. And hey, tried it, didn't like it, got it dissolved, never again.
Yeah, well, you're
Right.
stunning, Melonie. You don't need
She's
shit.
gorgeous.
Absolutely.
This is so funny that Black China's real name is Angela White, which is the name of a very popular porn star.
Oh,
And it's-
really?
I wonder who came first. Like, I wonder if she was like, "Oh man, I can't even go by my."
Probably
regular
the
name."
porn star. Am I right?
Oh. She had her fillers dissolved and she underwent surgery to reduce her boobs and butt. See, this is what I've heard is that this anti-implant trend is really taking off. Like everyone's slimming down.
There's a girl, lady that I know over at the other place, just a couple months ago had hers removed because it was making her sick. Like she had this ongoing illness
Boobs
for the
or
longest
butt?
time, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And then they finally kind of nailed it down to her implants, and she just had them removed. And she's been 100 times better. It took a little while, but once they were gone, and it wasn't feeding into whatever was poisoning her body or what
So she
have you,
had
and she's
leaked
doing a lot better.
implants.
Yeah, and then she had
Yeah.
them removed.
That's so sad.
What did they put in place of it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just saggy ass.
I
Saggy
actually
ass.
know of
Saggy ass.
yeah,
I think there's
know
some
of
kind of
girls
fat
who've had-
injections or whatever to help for treatment for a little bit. But yeah, she had them fully taken out, and after about a month or so, she started feeling a lot better. And she
I
loved
think-
having
yeah.
them, but they were
Thank
just making her
God.
sick.
I think so many women who've had implants don't realize how they're negatively affecting their bodies, and they probably just think, oh, getting older or whatever it is. But like fatigue, all kinds of other they're
Stress.
like it's a foreign substance in your body. It's probably poisoning you. Like that's just how it is, including breast implants. Like it's just how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, even the ones that are made from that gummy bear material. I forgot what it's called.
Silicone?
But no, not the silicone. The
Gummy bear?
loose or
Gummy
whatever.
bear.
It's a sugar compound that
Like
that
a
they put in.
gelatin type thing or something.
Yeah,
Gelatin
even
sounds
that,
right.
Even that's poisoning people.
Damn.
Wow, what does she even look like for real? Who even knows what's under there? Yeah, maybe
Terrible.
Madonna did scare a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, she looked so horrible.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not angry. I feel sorry for her. Like, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for a lot of them.
Yeah.
I can't even, like, I haven't watched the Oscars in years. Like, all of Hollywood is kind of like, oh, I'm over it.
Over it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Over it. Did you guys watch any of the things? The shows?
No, I didn't see any of the nomination shows, whatever those are. I've never been into them.
I don't know what's happening.
But what I think's so crazy about Madonna and how, people have made comments about her appearance, because I mean, she looks terrifying. She looks very unnatural, but she just wants to jump on it's so misogynistic they are. And it's just like, no, girl, people are talking about all the crap you did to your face. If you would have just
an alien.
Exactly. It's not misogyny. They wouldn't be saying this stuff if she didn't have all of that in her face.
And it's also like she can afford to have the best skincare. She can afford to like literally cover her body in La Mer every day. Like she can age so gracefully. She has everything at her fingertips.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a personal trainer, personal chef, and also she has everyone's gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, number one, it's okay to age. Number two, like, you're a musical legend. If anybody has earned themselves, like, you know what I mean, looking their age, it's someone like, I mean, everyone has earned that, but especially with Madonna, be like, yeah, you were never hot. You were never known for being hot, Madonna. Like, you were quirky. You were the material girl. You were like Queen's trash or whatever, but like fun and. Everyone loves your music.
Well, her whole image was sex from the very beginning, and when she
did that porn book,
she aged out of it, but she didn't evolve out of it. She didn't go with the times, and then she waited too long. Like, if she had been having these treatments since like the early 2000s up to now, she wouldn't look like this. Where if you look 4 years ago, 5 years ago at a photo of her, she looks okay, and now she's this. She had everything done at once, way too late in the game. And now she just looks like, like you unwrapped a mummy and there she is.
It's nasty.
It's rough.
She looks like that podcaster who paid to fly out Stuttering John. God, what the hell?
Oh, Tommy from the guy in Florida. I forgot his company's name, but yeah.
Such big, I swear to God, he has like fake cheeks.
But I agree, like, age gracefully. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going for any of that stuff.
That's good.
I had my time where I was the one, like, who cares? Let somebody else be the one.
But there's nothing wrong with like, that's what I hope our a little bit or puts a dent in. Like the fact that you're feeling pressure to look hot post 60, like there's something wrong. I mean, that's probably her own mental illness or her own like wanting to stay relevant, but you shouldn't feel any kind of pressure to like be hot. I don't know.
I think we need to define hot. You know what I'm saying?
Like, stay in shape. Is Erock tuning out?
No, I'm listening to Geno.
Still give a shit about your appearance, but yeah, like, you shouldn't be trying to work your sex appeal. Like, I don't need to see your cleavage. I don't need to see your thong. I don't need to see you in like see-through clothing. You could still wear like nice, elegant, classy stuff. You could be beautiful. You could be like, wow, she's in great shape. Oh, looks good for her age. But we don't need to see how the sausage is made.
Right.
Amen.
Well, it's weird too. I don't know if you guys saw that video where she's like licking that man and like, it was so, she was like getting her tongue all involved in it. And I was just like,
wow,
you're just too old for this. It's
It's embarrassing. Yeah.
Like, give me stage advice and look pretty with gray hair. That's where I am right now with Madonna. Yeah.
And my guess is she would have looked great without it.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
I'm sure she would.
I think she would have looked great.
Italian. She's Italian. Italians typically don't crack as much as us white, and I think she would look good. So
she's Italian.
Yeah.
Isn't her last name Carducci or something like that? Ciccone.
Ciccone. Yeah, whatever it is. If she didn't have that work done, I think she kind of looks like the old lady in that Drag Me to Hell movie, the Sam Raimi movie that curses the young girl.
Yes,
that's what Madonna would look like if she didn't have all that. Yeah.
Yeah, she was scared with the eye or whatever. Yeah.
And then the
That's very
hairstyle, I don't know who
Oh,
was
no.
advising that one.
Oh, dear.
It does look like somebody put it like right next to that statue, the one that's supposed to be
You
honoring
really
Ruth
think
Bader.
this is what Madonna would look like?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Or
That's
this
Right
one?
there on the right. Second to the
You
right.
know who
right
this
there.
looks like? Is Stregonona. Remember
Yeah,
Stregonona?
totally. I
No
used to
idea.
love that book.
She's cursing us. She's cursing us with her TikToks. That's what's
Yeah,
happening.
look
Anytime I
at
can have a
second to the right on
Stregonona
there.
reference.
Yeah. With her hand like this, that's what she would look like.
Oh, this one? Oh, dear.
No, not that one, but
This one.
yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah. This is classic
cannot
old
watch
Italian
these kind of movies.
grandma look.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
the kind
her.
that
That's
spit
her.
on you and then put a hex on you for no reason because they don't like the person you're
Yeah.
dating. Yeah.
Every little thing that I say or do, I'm hung up. That sounds like Teen Bell Squad.
Yeah.
Does she even put out music anymore, Madonna?
She does on a rare once in a while kind of thing. But fuck her even if with her new stuff because like not too long ago she came out and said she regrets Material Girl because it puts an unhealthy and an unrealistic view on women and this kind of shit. It's like that was the thing that launched you into everything, and now you're going to turn around and go,
stop
"Fuck
it."
that thing."
Well,
I
that's
regret
like
ever
what
doing that.
Paramore did as well with that one song, "Want Your Whore, You're Nothing More." I'm sorry, that'll never change. It's like that was one of the most iconic songs, and then it was just like, oh, we're no longer going to be singing these in concerts now because this is anti-women and like women competing against women. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Women do
You guys are
compete
right.
against women.
I know. It's like that's just how it is. Like it's just how
it's Madonna's
life.
4 decades.
Everything
tour.
is a competition. Ridiculous. Yeah.
She's on tour right now, guys. We can go see her all summer. She got dates.
Oh my. Is she
Wowie.
humping the stage and shit?
A
Like,
lot
what
of
is she
people
doing?
out.
She,
Good for her.
how old is she? 60 something? What is she?
64. I
Yeah,
still
she's
think
not
she could
doing
sell
too much.
out without making herself look like an alien.
Pilates and yoga only goes so
Oh
far.
yeah, she could if she didn't. Yeah, because it's just like
she's doing great.
There are plenty of women in their 60s who age gracefully and look amazing, and especially when she has access to personal trainers
Like
and all
Caitlyn Jenner.
this.
Yeah.
This is the best that money can do, and it's not good. That's not good.
She's aging like a like an award-winning athlete. Oh, Carmen Studer has to bounce.
Sorry.
Carmen, thank you so much for coming
You guys
on.
are so
SimpCast.
adorable and fun and beautiful, and thank you for including me. I really enjoyed it, and think all of you are just amazing.
I hope you come back. I hope I didn't scare you off.
No, I'll just stay away from that wet spot part.
Okay.
You've got the upper decks and the lower decks. I'll stay away from the lower decks.
Yeah, we're gonna upper decker your lower deck. Carmen, tell people where they can find you. What's coming up?
Oh, I really don't have anything exciting happening right now, but I have my YouTube channel with my name, and then of course my website with my name, and I'm on Twitter, and that's about it. So thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful evening and age gracefully. Don't date like Madonna.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Love you, Carmen.
Bye. Ta-ta, kissy, kissy.
Studer.
I don't
should have
know.
asked her life coach questions. I totally forgot.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. I don't know her, but she looks like she's intelligent and professional. Like she's going to be on the 4th hour of the Today Show tomorrow promoting her book.
Yeah,
Like,
or the
that's
5
kind
or
of-
something.
Something
Yeah.
like
She's
that.
beautiful
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Is Matt Lauer
I may
still
have
on,
scared her
or
off.
he gets canceled?
Oh, he got canceled big time.
Like a decade
He went
ago.
off to live with wherever.
Yeah, because of the
everything's
rapey.
That
The
show on
rapey
Apple
stuff,
TV
yeah.
is all
Rape
about
Island.
That thing-
What'd you say, Erock?
There's a show on Apple TV called The Morning Show with
with
Jennifer
Aniston, right?
Aniston and
Yeah.
Carell.
Oh.
Carell and the other girl, Reese Witherspoon. And that whole show is whatever her name is. That whole show is all about the Matt Lauer situation at the Today Show.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Okay. Now I kind of want
He
to
was
watch it.
trying to hump everybody, right?
Frankie McDonald to Michael Gavin Ali to Ian to Drunk Jimmy to Andrew Harms is the complete spectrum. True. We should really do an autism chart and put like different faces.
Yeah.
I feel like I would need a clipboard and a lab coat for that. Ozzy Mandius. Gino, who's winning the NCAA tournament?
I'll tell you right now, TCU, it needs to hit a garbage 3 for me to cover my bet. But I think Houston's probably still the odds-on favorite to win it all. But my bracket was dead the second Arizona lost the opening night. I stopped by the Balls show real fast, and me and him bet on that. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that Monday. Arizona did not even win, let alone cover.
So what do we think Gino's new YouTube show should be about? Because we've decided that Gino is going to go live on his YouTube channel every Friday at what time?
Yeah.
2 p.m.?
Probably 3 because Dombrowski does his at 2. I don't want to get in his way.
You don't want to encroach. What do we think now that you guys have sampled Gino's wares? What do we think Gino should do his show? But should it be rant based? Should it be sport based?
I think it'll just be
always the rant.
I like the rants. I like it. When you were like getting all worked up over that comedian, I was like, okay, this is entertainment. This is prime entertainment right here.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be rants. It's going to be rants whether I want it to be or not. It's
all
going
right.
to be. And I'm probably going to have to set up on Rumble too, because I'm going to slip into the naughty words here. This platform of silliness.
Keep your Rumble going for sure.
Yeah.
And then make it so it copies to Odyssey as well. That's what I have. Like it copies to Rumble and Odyssey. But then tonight I went out of my way to go live on Rumble because I didn't do it. It takes like 10 more steps, but like I just have to suck it up and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. The Rumble was blowing up. I took a peek in there earlier. But yeah, I have to do the StreamYard. I just did I didn't realize I could do it free, but you said get the $20 one. But I just did it this week just to stumble through. And apparently my mic, you're not going to believe this, my mic wasn't working after you guys saw me stumble into the chat today.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, it worked. It just sounded like I was in a different room yelling in a tin can.
It's a decorative mic. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe you swing by the first one, Chrissy. Say hey, but it'll be.
I would love to.
Fuck! I'm going to lose by a hook. I'm going to get hooked. Gonzaga laying 4.5. They're down 5. Oh, no. I mean, hypothetically speaking.
What's coming up on Compound this week? What are some other guests and also like for people that aren't familiar with your content and your shows?
Nobody here cares about my content.
Are you kidding me? Erock, you have dozens of fans here.
That's being generous.
I'm just kidding. Everyone
How many
loves
did I buy? This week, Karen Margolis is on Anthony tomorrow. Oh, Anthony's doing Nick Apollo show on Tuesday. And then Nick's coming on the following week. I know that. Gavin on Wednesdays all the time with Anthony every Wednesday for the Anthony Cumia show on Compound Media. I don't know. That's all I know of this week. Depends on who in Hot Water has, which is usually nobody. And then that's not a shot at Geno. It's just he shows up and then starts going. He doesn't even know what he has planned half the time. He just sits down and just shoots off like a firecracker.
Yahtzee.
Yes.
Yahtzee is the show.
But if you want to check out my shows, Would You Kindly, the most beloved show on Compound Media with me and Brian Johnson from Tell 'em Steve Dave and AMC's Comic Book Men and all that fun Kevin Smith stuff. Brian and I do that show. And then you can go over to iHeart and get my other show. It's Erik Nagel over there for the iHeart Radio Network.
That sounds good.
I'm also on Rumble too. I just started Rumble, so I need to get a certain amount to get the URL.
It was annoying to sign up, but you just got.
By the way, if I can interrupt, TCU hit a meaningless 3-pointer at the buzzer. Cover. And let me point something out. So anyone that says, oh, they know how to gamble, I just covered, and I had no business covering. You are going to see this tomorrow on a bad beat. They were down 84-78. 1 second left. The guy heaved up a 3. Cover. And again, anyone that's like, oh, you make money. No, I backed into that money. All right, back to you guys. And reality.
Amy, is that a Franzia box next to you? I love it. I knew you'd be perfect for the show. Yeah. Next year.
I collect typewriters. Yes. I collect typewriters and cameras. So that's what this is.
No, it's Franzia, the wine.
That's the one thing she didn't have.
You can see that?
Franzia. Yes. I know it from my college days. I know a box wine when I see it.
No.
No, you need to keep that as part of your set.
It
Amy.
is. It is.
I'm like loving your whole.
I didn't know
brand.
you could see that.
I'm on board.
Shit.
No, more friends.
right.
Lean into it, please.
The gig is up. The gig is up.
Evie, thank you so much for coming on. I would love to have you come back. You're an absolute delight.
Yes.
And of course, another redhead finally on this show. Amie, where can people follow you and see your shit postings?
Amie, what's her face? 1H, WHAT. That's it. There's no her face. It's just Amie, what's her face. That's me.
I love it.
Yeah, everywhere. So
good. I hope you weren't scared off tonight by the.
No, I loved it. It was
Amie can
fucking
hang.
badass.
Once I saw the
that
Franzi,
you
I'm like, I think we're
recognize you
fine.
can hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanie Mack, great shirt. If you want to get a SimpCast shirt like Melanie Mack here has, go to flagranttriggers.com right now. Don't wait. You can get X-Ray Girl merch there as well.
Get the filing cabinet shirt too. I am the first
shirt
filing
for a
cabinet
girl.
shirt owner. I need you guys to match me.
This is sad that Melanie's got a filing cabinet shirt before me. Get a room for Putin. You sound vaccinated. SimpCast, make America great again. SimpCast for dudes. Johnny Dabbler, keep dabbling. Frostbite, filing cabinet. Mayor, digital cannibal shirts. Remember that? Remember when Shane called us all digital cannibals? Christmas shirt, another girl shirt, and Smayer if you happen to be into Slayer. And me, I know this appeals to a very small.
What a cross section of the audience.
Of the population. Yeah, this shirt will appeal to maybe 1 out of every 1,000 people. But
I
here
have
it is.
2 of those shirts. I'm very proud to say.
FlagrantTriggers.com. You can also get Lila Hart merch here. And Crip Daddy
Crip
merch.
Daddy.
Look at that.
I love Crip
He does
Daddy.
a show on Compound with Garrett, Garrett on Wednesday nights.
Crip's amazing.
They had Lando on recently. Great show.
Yeah, it's
The whole
called
thing.
TBD, right?
Yeah.
get
TBD Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's Donovan and it's Garrett.
See, Flagrant Triggers has everybody's shirt, and Compound Media has all the comedians and content you love, and some that you don't. Wow, we did it all. Wait, Melanie Mack, did I do you?
Kind of. You guys can find me at Melanie Mac Go Boom on YouTube. That's where I mostly upload. And then on Twitch at Melanie Mac. I will be back to streaming in the near future, but I just got stuff going on I can't talk about right now. But good things coming. So
hey. I love it. Let's see. I said who? Yes, Wet Spot is tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern on Compound Media. We have Stacey Pressman, Gina Hyena, James Raniolo. What else is going on this week? Tuesday is the 1000th episode of Geno's show In Hot Water on Compound Media at 2 p.m. Eastern at compoundmedia.com. I'll also be on Morning this Tuesday at noon or 12:30, something like that. And then it's the beginning of Ramadan on Wednesday. I'm just going through my Google Calendar. And then this Thursday,
Then we're off Wednesday. The In Hot Water Sports Show this Thursday, right? In Hot Water Sports Show. We do it every Thursday during March Madness.
Thursday,
Ramadan.
I'm headlining at the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Check it out. And then, of course, Friday is Friday Night Tights. And then Saturday, I'll be headlining in New York City at the Grizzly Pear 8 and 10 o'clock shows. Geno Bisconte here will be hosting. Keanu Thompson will be on as well, in addition to Andrew Harm. So come on out to those shows this Saturday. Thank you all for
Can
joining
I
us.
promote one more thing before we
Yes,
go?
please.
Like we said, Tuesday, the 1000th episode of In Hot Water will also be Super Chat Pizza Party. So come on down, get some free pizza, watch the show.
I better get my
subscribe.
$5.
Wow. I'm on keto, so I might have to get some chicken wings.
There you
go.
Yeah, Gino, let me know what you want me to bring to the
we should get
show, although I
Praviti.
have a feeling
go
you
Praviti.
already know.
Cauliflower crust.
Ooh. Thank you guys for watching the SimpCast, and we will catch you next Sunday. Bye.